Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Real Debaters production. I am Michael Petro, and this is...
Charles Fernandez.
And we just finished Special Features number 8 for you, and I was like, why don't you stick around and let's do some intros together? And he was like, sure. And I'm like, why did it take us 100-some-odd episodes to figure this shit out? It's because we're new, and we're not really good at this. We're not too old for this shit.
That's right.
But we're still not great at it.
That's right.
This is not the way to introduce a show.
We are the best.
We are the
You'll
fucking
ever hear,
best, yeah.
And you're welcome, and thanks for joining.
My best is the best ever. Yeah. It's the best ever. I can't even do a Donald Trump anymore. He's not around. Anyways, what are you going to listen to on the show, listeners? All right, so we start the show off with our take on Loki, where the multiverse is going, Kang the Conqueror, basically give you a whole, like, what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Then we dig into what, Charles?
Oh, then next we dug into a little bit of the backlash from the He-Man and Masters of the Universe Revelation, the new show that came out from Netflix. We go into a little bit of... the bullshit surrounding that a little bit.
The bullshit surrounding that. We do spoil it. Heads up. There is, and I do misquote, by the way. I would like to just put out on the record that I'm sorry, and I spoke too soon, and Skeletor is not dead.
That's right.
That's very wrong. I haven't even seen the show.
We misquoted. You know, we have these fucking interns that sometimes just don't give us the right
No, it's a
facts
fucking
and stuff.
asshole mechanic at work. So, well, I think he was just fucking with me because he knows I do this. Anyways.
Well, yeah, and I mean...
Like, Skeletor's dead, and I'm
it
like,
worked.
okay.
And it worked. It was like, oh!
So, so we talk about Kevin Smith eating a lot of dick.
Yeah.
Venomous fandom.
Yeah.
Being mean online.
And we kind of we explore how it should be more looking at a studio rather than a single person.
And then for stuff you can actually listen to instead of us explaining it here for 20 minutes, we go into Ghostbusters, and Charles does a live trailer reaction to Afterlife. We talk about David
Gordon Green.
David Gordon Green taking over the new Exorcist series and starting from scratch with the first movie. And then Charles gives me his 14-minute, 5-minute version of Blackwidow and tries not to spoil it for me. Well, I still want to actually go see the movie. That is what is on the show for you, ladies and gentlemen. So if you've been here before, if you've done this dance, go on in. You've already heard it in the last couple of weeks. But if this is your first time, thank you, for pressing play. Charles and I and the rest of the cast from the show, thank you very much. If you like what you hear today and you want to see more of us, follow us online at Real Debaters on Twitter and Instagram. That's the place you can get to know us. Head to our website, therealdebaters.ca, where you can subscribe. It's the free and easy way to support the show, okay? But if you're feeling like you want to blow some change, like you've got some extra COVID cash and you're like, these assholes, I might want to buy something from them. Head to our prop shop in the show notes. That's where you can buy skateboards, sweaters, T-shirts, hats, laundry bags. I think we make laundry bags. I think we also have slip-on Van shoes too.
Oh, dope.
I just said yes when I set it up.
We also have like the summer collection that's rolling out right now. It's just fantastic.
Yes. On the most recent episode of Making the Cut on Amazon with Heidi Klum.
There you go.
And if you want to donate, if you're cleaning your couch cushions out and you find some fucking change and you're like, hey, $2, what should I do with it? Throw it at us.
That's right.
Goes a long way, pays for overhead, all that stuff that we try to make us, we pay for to make us look as good as possible. That stuff, if you helped and you donated $2 towards it, you're just a co-executive producer on the show now.
Boom.
Right? So now you get fucking credit. Now we got to give you shout-outs and shit, which on the donation tab is 3 ways that you can do that, and then there's 3 things that you could get from us. All in all, these are the ways that you can support the show. Charles also does his own thing called the Nerdgasm Show, which, Charles, what was your last episode about?
Last episode was... it was a quick little review and playthrough of Resident Evil 8.
If you like nerdy things, if you like comic books, if you like cosplay, if you like shit, what do you like?
Superheroes.
You do everything. I can't name it all.
Yeah, like I try to cover anything nerd related, like gaming, TV shows, superheroes, movies, you know. Also just like opinion stuff. Like I'll just choose topics. Like I'm not happy with Venom. Boom.
It's the buffet of nerdiness that you didn't know you wanted. So
that's right.
On YouTube by searching
the Nerdgasm. Literally, I think if you just type in the Nerdgasm and then type in the Nerdgasm Charles Fernandez, boom. Or
Done.
even just type in Nerdgasm Resident Evil 8.
Or follow on Instagram at @Nerdgasm Show.
That's right. Yeah, and then that'll take you. And what's neat is I try to do exclusive content just for Instagram. and separate content just for YouTube. So make sure to check out both.
Yeah, there's a plethora of shit to check out there. That's it. We will cue the reel.
Yeah.
And you enjoy the show. Where's that reel? Oh, there it is.
Dun, 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 dun.
Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel. Here is a motion picture film, 1,000 feet, 16,000 separate photographs.
Welcome, everyone, to the official space section of the Charter.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Sir, you're out of order.
Out of order? I show you out of order!
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I'm such an idiot when people were like, Bitcoin's dangerous for the environment. I'm like, how? They're not making paper, you fucking idiots. And then I realized it's just like servers running. And because it's all ghetto, it's people just buying regular computers and then having like a fan next to it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's not good for anybody.
Okay, it's turned off. No, it's not. Yeah, my buddy does it.
Really? Eh?
Yeah, he does it. And I've seen it because I was like, what is Bitcoin? And he tried to explain it to me, and I was like, yeah, I'm not too high. I'm not high enough for the shit.
Yeah, like
I need to.
So this, if you have Bitcoin, you're in charge of running your own server to host that Bitcoin. Is that why these things have to be on all the time? Like, I don't get it.
You're mining for Bitcoin. You're trying to find the thing at the end of the rainbow that the leprechaun has. No,
Whoa.
I'm making that up. You're trying to find a Bitcoin in the whole system. There's a system that holds all the Bitcoin, right? And if you can get a line of code that gets you access and you can build that line of code.
Harvest it?
Yeah, no, you mine for it. That's what the computers are doing.
Crazy.
The computers are constantly running, surfing this thing made by this anonymous guy who nobody knows, that if you find it, then you've got value for it. But your hydro bill
Yes.
is stupid.
Atrocious. Yeah,
Atrocious.
It's ridiculous.
So it is big overhead.
Right.
But if you find one and Bitcoin's worth like 80,000 that day.
That's crazy, man. It's also like really like kind of dumb that we're at that point. Like, I'm not like
it's currency that you have.
nuts. Yeah.
So take $100 and put it into Bitcoin.
Right.
That's what the value of your Bitcoin is worth.
Right.
But not by like if a Bitcoin cost $100,
right,
then that Bitcoin is worth $100 and you can do whatever you want with it.
Right.
And you can use it for transactions. Someone's gonna get
can I only
listener right now, listener. I'm making this up as I go along, hoping Charles will fall for it. So just between me and you, I'm talking bullshit. Anyways, back to you, Charles.
I'm thinking of like Mario collecting these coins.
100%.
Those are the Bitcoins.
Those are the maybe, I don't know.
The Bitcoin. Dude, all I'm wondering is like, so do you just go in a store and you're like, hi, I have Bitcoin, I'm going to e-transfer you? Like, how do you buy things?
You can transact your Bitcoin. So if the Bitcoin is worth like 19,000 on the market,
okay,
then that's what that Bitcoin is worth. So, but instead of buying the Bitcoin at face value,
right,
you get a bunch of computers, run them all day long,
right,
make a huge hydro bill, and then hopefully find one.
And then you use your Bitcoin to pay for the hydro bill.
Yeah, well, that's the mining, right? Mining for gold, mining for Bitcoins, right?
Gotcha.
It's not, you can just buy one if you want, but finding one,
right?
You know, what is it? Twice as sweet as whatever. Some saying.
Yeah.
One man's junk is another man's. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, one man's garbage is another man's treasure.
Yeah, but there is a guy who bought a bunch of Bitcoin. And I think they should make a movie about this guy.
He can't open it, right?
He can't open it.
He's got one last password attempt. And if he doesn't do it right, this is what I read. It's like gone forever. And it's like
forever.
Millions. Like it's at least $1 million that he's got of this shit.
I don't know if it's $1 million of hard cash, but like whatever
it's something.
However many Bitcoins he has, it's what that's valued at.
Yeah, like it's definitely worth. So apparently he even posted Reddit to see if like hackers and programmers would reach out to be like, I can help you with this, right?
There's also another guy.
That's funny.
Who knows it's in a dump somewhere.
Yeah, that one too.
And he's like, I'll pay you.
Right.
And they're like, what?
He wants someone to just like basically comb a landfill to find a hard drive or like even a USB stick. It could be anything because it's just a
anything.
digital, right?
Yeah.
So,
Like it's.
but he's like, there's like 5 million on there. It's like, and you threw it out.
Yeah. No. It's well, and I mean, at the time, sure, like shit's not worth it, right? 'Cause
Right.
It's an emerging market, but now it's fucking wildfire. I don't understand. Like, it's the one thing that
It's so confusing.
and understanding time travel in Endgame can melt my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I've rewound the scene where he's like, "That's not how time travel works." When Hulk is,
But that's exactly how they do it, though.
well. But when he says, "You're," see if I can get this right. He says, "If you go into the past,
Yeah.
that becomes your new future,
Yes.
and your present
Because
self,
you're already altering it.
you're altering it, right? So your
Right.
new future is your past."
Right. Is that past that you're now fucking with, that becomes your future.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then your current present
Right.
doesn't become your past because it's not your past anymore.
Right.
Other past
Right.
is your past
So that's when the TVA comes in.
and breaks the fucking thread.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
all makes
And it's also very smart for the MCU because anytime someone finds a loophole with it, they're like, well, that's the TVA's job. And you're like, motherfuckers.
You know what? I think that's a perfect
It's
time.
smart.
That's a perfect time to start
There
the
you
show.
go. Yeah.
You want to
There
start
go.
right there?
Let's do it.
Ladies
Let's
and
do it.
gentlemen, I am Michael Petro,
And I'm Charles Fernandez.
and this is Special Features number 8. I remembered it.
Yeah.
Not-
number 8.
Not around 5.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember there was one where we were just like over 5. It's after 5.
We've done more than 5, so it counts.
That's
Whatever it
great.
is, it doesn't matter. But and I think we've just landed on a perfect place to
Yeah.
start the show. I mean, I know less about Bitcoin than I started today, so that's a winner right there. Let's start with the big thing, the green thing, the thing that just ended, the many of the Lokis. Loki
Yeah.
season number 1.
That's right. Officially, we know.
We know so much.
Yeah.
But let's start with overall opinion
Mm-hmm.
compared to Winter Soldier and
Ooh.
WandaVision. Where would you rank the 3 right now?
Ooh. I mean, okay, that's a great question.
We are pressed for time.
Okay, so easier to say. Cap for me is 3, not meaning because it's bad or anything.
No, yeah.
It's just, for me, all I actually ever wanted out of that show was to officially get our new Captain America, and the fact that we did its job. But if I had to take it apart, yeah, like the villains did not, like there's so much I was just like, I don't care. I just want to see Cap.
It was clunky.
Yeah, I just want to see Cap and Bucky. But anyway, so that one's 3. Damn, man. You know what? I have to say, God, just because, especially of what Loki did and the note it ended on, Loki's 1, Wanda is like a very like 0.2
Well, they're married.
behind. Totally.
They're totally
They're
married
almost like
to each
one.
other. Yeah.
They're like almost like it's just one continued storyline, right? Like as it is. But yeah, it's
I agree with you. To let me turn my headphones up here because I want to hear you better. I agree with you in that order, and pretty much for the same thing, right? Like Falcon Winter Soldier was about. Oh, here they come. That's what you get when you drink fucking cider before a show. That's what you get when you drink any liquid, but cider more so. Carbonation, bad for podcasting. Falcon Winter Soldier only because there was like this big thing
Yeah.
that you wanted, right? Which
Yeah.
was who's the new Cap?
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Our favorite villain, name eludes me. You'll know it. Dancing.
Oh,
Baron.
Oh yes.
Baron,
Baron Zemo.
Baron Zemo.
Yes. I forgot about that. That meme was amazing.
If Falcon Winter Soldier does nothing but branch off like the TVA does,
Yes.
and I
Yeah.
hope they allow for a Baron Zemo. thing.
Yeah, and I think they said the right things regarding his character, and they're like, they made an effort to make him get away, air quotes, because he did, but he did in the way that
He's Zemo'd.
he's coming, yeah, and we know he's going to be back the same way that what's her face is going to be back.
Agent Carter.
Agent, oh yeah, that was cool. And Agatha, even with Wanda, we know that she's coming back for sure.
Yeah,
right.
They red herring them. They hang them out for you, and they're like, we're not done. But
it's also I think Marvel being smart and knowing that they had a very big villain issue in Phase 1 and 2.
Yeah,
very much one note villain. Right, like you get one movie, you either die at the end or you lose your power, whatever, and then new villain for new movie. Like they're getting away from that a little bit because it's like, if we're investing in these heroes, we should invest in villains.
and it shouldn't be so compartmentalized, and that's what they're doing now. Is they're like, okay, now we're just gonna put these little bridges in between all these movies, and that's what everybody says. Like, do I have to watch them all? Well, if you want it to make sense,
I mean, like,
you want to see half a Picasso? I mean,
it's like I tell
I'm
people,
not comparing Marvel to fucking Picasso.
No, but I mean, it's a good, like, it's like saying, like, you don't need to, but I mean, if you want to respect the material for what it is, you should. Like, I've never seen Lord of the Rings. I'll just start with the second one halfway through and then expect me to have the experience someone has investing all of it, right? Like, my buddy was like, man, I've been reading about Loki and I hear it's amazing. And I was like, yeah. And again, I don't think he saw Infinity War or Endgame or like even anything after like Iron Man 2. Yeah. So I was like, again, you got to understand the people that are saying Loki is amazing are also like they've been watching it since phase 1. So that's part of what makes it amazing. You're going to watch Loki and be like, yeah, like it was the visuals. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm like, well, yeah, it's like starting in a comic book series in issue 58 instead of issue 1. And you're expecting to be like, I get it.
Oh, yeah, the guy and the thing and the place with the stuff.
Yeah. Or even like a good one, like another favorite of ours, Invincible. Like imagine starting Invincible from episode 4. And trying to be as invested as you were from episode 1. You'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
I would need all of the skull crushing.
And
bloodiness.
Totally.
And you rip off that first episode of Invincible and nothing is
that's what I mean. It doesn't make it's not, you don't have that emotional like, whoa, importance. You know what I mean? And like, also, you don't understand how this Invincible is one of those shows where Marvel took how many years to get to a time where they can be like, let's fuck with multiverses and timelines. Invincible did that in episode 1. Like they established that like,
here we go.
They're superheroes, but they are, one of a large thing, but they're also minuscule in this whole fucking universe too, right? So
touche.
Very ambitious, right? So that's something that like you need to see the first episode to understand so your brain can be like, because if you just hop in episode 4, you're like, this is really ridiculous. It's all over the place. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, yeah, your brain would think that because you don't understand how this show is constructed. Like, you got it.
I had a thought and I lost it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the silence of a single thought leaving my brain.
If you've seen the movie Hook, it's that very scene where Peter's trying to find his happy thought and he's like, I have it. No, I lost it. I have it.
I have it again. Oh my God, Hook is such a good fucking movie.
So good.
I'm on a not to tangent too much, but I'm on a John Williams kick right now.
Yes.
So I'm just listening to composers.
Yeah.
And I've made a playlist. And and you want to know John Williams is one.
Of course.
I haven't got a funky name for it yet, but you want to know what my other one is? All Hands on Deck.
Hans Zimmer, you would be so proud. All Hands on Deck. Love it.
I'll share it to you. It's like
I love it.
The best of Hans Zimmer.
Also, I love that we both have a John Williams playlist and a Hans Zimmer playlist. You have to.
You can't. I get out of the bed to Jurassic Park.
Totally,
man.
dude.
Like,
it's one of my alarms.
But okay, so we agree on the order.
Yes.
Right? And you're close second with WandaVision,
dude.
Is only because Loki did more for what we all want.
Yeah.
Where WandaVision set the bait.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
totally.
totally.
The hook, so to speak.
Totally. And again, WandaVision did a very much Cap thing where it was like, we now know, like, we got Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
And we have her now. Like, this isn't like tiptoeing.
She
wears red. Yeah, right? And like in the previous movies, it's like, she's wearing red. You know, we're alluding to it. Now she's like, no, she is the Scarlet Witch. And she's insanely powerful.
Thank you, Daddy Feige.
Yeah, totally. Totally, because that was a very Joss Whedon, like, not to tangent on that whole thing, but it makes sense now.
Who's Joss who?
Yeah, it makes sense hearing that stuff, because seeing how she looked in Ultron, I'm like, yeah, and even she said, she's like, I'm excited when it doesn't have to be about boobs.
I think we all are.
Yeah, totally.
Speaking of boobs and characters, and I'm going to tie this all together, I swear.
Absolutely.
Speaking of boobs, did you see the clip of Sophie's costume?
Yeah, man.
How they made her
I showed even Claudia because I was like, you'll appreciate this because just costume designers get recognition, but for things like this, nowhere near enough.
No, never been done.
Because if this was something like she needed to have a certain schedule to be able to nurse the studio, freak out, blah, blah, blah. But a costume designer, you're like, hey, I need to make it easier. They're like, oh, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
And like, they need credit for that. I love that she gave a shout out for that. And I thought that was fucking wicked because when you see it, you're like, I'd have no idea.
Didn't know you were breastfeeding between takes.
No idea, man.
So whoever did the costume, you know who you are.
Huge shout out.
Fucking shout out. But Characters. Mobius.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson.
Amazing.
My only complaint. Do you want to know what my only complaint is?
Tell me.
I didn't get a right.
Yeah. Or wow.
Wow.
Oh, that killed me.
Right.
And what killed me, I don't know if you saw, but like by episode 3, the director was like, yeah, Mobius won't give a wow by the end. And I was waiting even after scenes. I'm like, I thought maybe he'd show me like, wow, it's over.
Yeah, right? But like break,
Yeah,
look
yeah,
into
yeah.
the camera.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Back into scene.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
would have, but
Yeah.
Owen Wilson is Mobius. Mobius say Mobius.
Dude.
There's something in that name.
For sure.
There's something in the repetitive nature of that name.
Yes. And that it's just Mobius. There's no
Yeah.
Mobius Miller or, Mobius Johnson. It's just Mobius.
You're like almost Prince.
Yes. Yeah. Very much Loki.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's no Loki Smith. It's just Loki.
There should be now. Loki Johnson.
I'm sure there's a variant. Loki Smith.
Loki Fredrickson. Living
Third.
321 Fake Street. Okay, so yeah, obviously Tom Hiddleston. Let's start there.
Unreal.
Hindle nut.
Yeah.
Hindle fucking. I watch him in a lot of other videos.
Yes.
Because I'm just so charmed by him.
Totally.
I'm sure you can agree.
Of course. You've seen him do impressions.
His impressions,
Unreal.
when he has the balls, the
Yes.
cojones
In front of them.
in front of
Yeah.
Robert De Niro.
Oh, that was great.
that
was great. Yeah. And man,
you got me, Buxton. Right,
even
That-
in front of Graham Norton, like, not saying that's a hard one, but he killed it, and he was looking at him.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
Even Graham Norton lost it. Like, I love when they lose their minds because it's like, like even did you see Owen Wilson reacting to, like, it was great. He loved it. He couldn't believe it.
I need to bring up the list here. Do you have your phone on you? You
Yeah,
should bring up the
yeah,
IMDb
yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm gonna forget half the names because there's
Yeah.
the Loki variants.
Yes.
We'll get to that, but okay. So
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston aces it, right?
Kills
Everything he does, ace serve.
Absolutely.
Did you love how he broke?
Yes.
How Loki became human?
Yes.
And the one thing he hates is humans.
Yeah.
They humanized him.
And
Human.
what blows my mind
Human!
is if that Loki was staring down Thanos, how that interaction would have went down. That would have been something.
The scene where he watches his future.
Holy shit.
Right in the first episode, you're just like, whoa.
And he reacted
whoa.
a way that you were like, how is he going to take this?
Right?
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
I think when he looks at Sophie and she's like, are you gonna screw me over? Are you not gonna screw me over?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And he's like, he grabs her and looks at her and you're just like, I believe you, Loki. Like, he's like, I'm not going to backstab you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to betray you.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
I even believe you, man. And I've seen you for 18 years
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
over everybody.
Everyone.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
you're literally the definition of a knife in the back, like a dagger in the back.
yes,
Like, that's Loki's MO. Like,
100%.
he's mastered that whole thing.
And so Hiddleston, great. Who played Sophie? Please help me out here.
Oh, man. Oh, she is brilliant. And I
Yes.
feel like I've seen her in something, but I couldn't pinpoint it. But, like, I don't know where she came from, but she is magnificent. Like,
Completely not related to her talent, but she rocks a nose ring. And in 2021, I think that's pretty cool because I want to bring my nose ring back.
yeah.
And one person won't let me, Shauna. And like, she just, it's not that she won't let me. She just reminds me of what I'll look like. And in my head, it's not what she says. Like, my head and what she thinks are different. But what's her name?
Her name is. Give me 1 second.
Oh, you were horrible. I left my phone
I'm
upstairs.
so bad at this. Hold on.
Oh my
Hold
God,
on.
listener, Jesus Christ! You'd think we know this because, well,
Yeah,
so-
are we on here right now?
Yeah,
Is it Sophia Di Martino?
that is exactly who it is.
Sophia Di Martino. What a beautiful name.
Di Martino,
Yeah.
Di Martino.
Yeah. That's,
What is that? Yeah, no, she was. It was
In Nottingham. Wow. She
That's
was
where
born
she's-
in Nottingham.
no, really.
Yeah.
Little John or Robin Hood was her best friend, or Friar Tuck. Which one? She looks
Wow.
like a drinker. She'd probably be with Friar Tuck. But yeah, no, her portrayal, all of the qualities that you want
Mm-hmm.
in it, and like just a fucking doppelganger,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like yin to yang, they played off each other perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was really fucking rooting for her, and I was like that one episode where they did her past,
Yes.
and you find out why she's a variant jumper.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, like, I honestly, so that one episode where, like, Hiddleston gets zapped and dies, I actually looked at Claudia. and I
Spoiler
was
alert,
like,
listener.
Yeah, well, yeah. I looked at Claudia and I was like, I don't know if Marvel's there yet. but technically they could continue the show as Loki, but it's following Sophie, and it's still Loki, right? And I was like, I don't know if they're there yet. And don't get me wrong, yeah, they didn't kill him off, but it was awesome. Like, it wasn't a cheap Marvel, like, because, there's that nobody ever dies kind of thing. Like,
No,
it was.
Black Widow has something to say about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, and Iron Man.
Natasha does not. Well,
yeah.
Iron Man was sacrificial. Well, they're both sacrificial.
They're
yeah,
definitely. I mean, hey, without Natasha, you wouldn't have Iron Man's sacrifice, right? Like, if that didn't work out, Iron Man would have never had anything to sacrifice for, right? Because without those stones, you're fucked.
Do you know what I love? I love fake life more than real.
I know, and I know more about history of nonsense than my own real country's history.
Yeah, I mean, I know more of it now. Thank God,
of course,
because
of course, yeah.
But like, whatever.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, no sacrifice without Black Widow.
Well, and then again, and to tie into Loki, we just said how like people died for these stones, blah blah blah, and then these assholes are using them as paperweights in a drawer. That was great. Like that shit. Like that's what I mean. Is Marvel is now like, hey guys.
Did you notice that there was no Mind Stone?
No. And that
Mind
was
Stone.
interesting. Yeah.
So
And there were doubles. There was doubles of stones, but no Mind Stones in there.
hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Theory just popped in my mind. When we find out that Scott goes into the quantum realm,
That's right. Yeah.
5 minutes is 5 hours,
Right.
or 5 hours is 5 years.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, what's happening in the TVA is assumed to be the quantum realm.
Yes. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
time moves differently.
That's right.
Said by
That's right.
Mobius A. Mobius.
That's right.
So, hear me out. If the Mind Stone isn't there, but Loki is,
Mm-hmm.
and Loki comes from the same timeline as Wanda and Vision,
Mm-hmm.
is it suffice to say that while they were trying to save everybody in Endgame, that the branch break off of Loki going in,
Completely derailed that whole.
No.
Or like.
you let everything catch up to Endgame,
Right.
and then after Endgame,
It's like.
it all
Unknown.
It's
Like-
unknown because it all falls off. So
Right.
what I'm saying is
Right.
the fact that Loki's in the TVA in 2012,
Right. Oh, yeah, that's
The
right.
5
It's 2012. That's right.
the timeline is caught up for WandaVision because we know Wanda and Vision
That's
is
right.
right after Endgame.
That's right.
So when they say time moves differently in the quantum realm,
I didn't even think of
time
that.
moves differently in the TVA.
Right.
All of the things that are happening in the proper timeline are
Right.
existing in the right time.
Right.
But what's happening in the quantum realm, aka the TVA, you fuckers, is
Yes.
slowing things down.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to wind up in the
That's good.
right.
That's pretty good. I like that.
That just came to me. No, I've
Well,
been reading about that.
But what's neat too is that like, and now after seeing Loki and WandaVision especially, looking at the names, the subtitles of all these movies now, like Multiverse of Madness is obviously just right on the fucking nose. But they just started filming Ant-Man and the Wasp 3, and that one
Yesterday.
is specifically called Quantum Mania.
Yes.
So Quantum Mania is basically another way of saying Multiverse of Madness, right? So obviously they're all going to ripple affect each other.
Without calling it the multiverse, without calling it the TVA, without
Right.
calling it the quantum realm,
Right.
they can all be the same, but all be
Absolutely.
different.
And they're all
until
going to ripple each other.
They are.
Right? Like they're totally going to. And
100%.
the one thing that I'm really, really hoping for, and there's been rumors and whatnot, and I think this would be wild, even if it was a scene, but there are rumors that there will be even a hint of a timeline where it was the original cast
Oh God, you're bringing this up
that they
again.
sent out, just because that would be fucking hilarious.
We
to
all know
me.
the money's there.
Oh, for sure. It's not a money thing.
Does Feige have a big enough sense of humor
Yeah.
to
That one.
call Tom Cruise,
Yeah,
Brad Pitt,
and have Tom Hiddleston be Thor, which is hilarious because that's who he originally auditioned for.
and then Matt Damon as
yeah,
Loki?
that's right. Yeah,
Matt Damon will be in all
Totally,
of these. You always
totally.
cast Matt Damon somehow.
yeah, that would be great, man. I think, and again, it could be literally like when I've pitched this idea to my buddies, I've said it like it could be Doctor Strange walking through the timelines. Because in WandaVision, we saw Monica LeBeau do it, and it was like a struggle and whatnot. But Strange is like, he can do it like a doorway. Like, again, I would love if that's one doorway is it's Avengers 1, and they don't even have to have dialogue. They could be at the shawarma table, but it's that cast. And it's
It
like,
needs to be around. It needs to be the cast reading the first time.
yeah,
Where they're
yeah.
all around the big table.
Yeah.
And it's they're reading it, and then Tom's like, "Do I have to really say it like that? You know, just like."
Right.
And then Brad Pitt's like, "Whatever, I'll do it." These
That's
are
right.
horrible impressions.
What am I going to do?
What am I gonna do? I'm a fucking Italian Brad Pitt.
But yeah, and then the other one they got to do is they have to make a joke about Human Torch.
Yes.
Like, I would love if Doctor Strange went
Yes.
into that timeline, sees who he thinks is Steve Rogers, but he's the Human Torch, and then he'd be like, yeah, no, this one's definitely not right. And then out the door into another timeline.
We already have
something
that.
like that.
We already have that with the Great One
Yeah.
and Hulk, right?
And even what they did with Quicksilver.
Yes.
That's kind of like that was a running joke that was really good. Like, it just kept building, but it started off like that.
That
oh,
was-
I'm the other guy.
that-
Didn't he even say something like that? He's like, I'm the other guy or something.
he did.
Yeah.
And I mean, it would have been perfect if he smiled, and then they do this little like graphic where like the Fox logo comes out of his teeth, like ding.
Or you should have looked at when in those days they would talk to the audience. He could have totally looked, and the audience would have been like, woo, like cheering, going
And he
nuts,
could have
right?
stepped up.
Yeah.
and
Has a
Deadpooled it.
monologue.
This is what he
Yeah,
says.
yeah.
This is what he says. He says, guys, I know. I know I'm not supposed to be here,
Right.
but I was very expensive.
Yeah.
And when they bought me,
That's right.
they had to do something with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So just go along to get along. We'll be right back after our sponsor.
Also, just thinking about it again, how great does that character specifically work in Marvel's favor for a whole thing with time?
Oh, good
Dealing
Lord.
with the theme of time, right? And like timeline, this and that. That guy literally is all about beating time. Like he's slow. The way he moves, time is slow for him, right? Like even that whole thing, I'm like, fuck me. Is that just like Feige being like, you love it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it is.
mess
It
with
is.
he's like a baby Nolan. He's starting
He
to
is.
mess with time.
Well,
Don't get full grown Nolan, but like
But you saw that he's officially the head of Marvel, meaning like
Oh, yeah,
even
he-
the comics.
Yeah.
He has to approve the storyline with what they're doing, anything with Marvel.
well, that's because the storyline now
yeah.
is the movies.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
more important, Loki fucking variants.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have a list of them.
So first off, alligator Loki.
Yeah,
I know
man,
that's
that
not
was-
where you should start. But
That was a steal. But he was a steal. Like, he stole the show, man. The minute I saw a kid holding it, he had horns. I'm like, that's a Loki? Like,
right.
And the fact that What's-His-Face is the only one that can interact with the alligator is pretty fucking funny.
Yeah,
Like-
that's the Shakespearean dog.
What's his name?
right?
Robert E. Grant.
Robert E.
yeah.
Grant. Okay,
Or,
Rob.
sorry, not Robert. Richard.
Richard
Wow.
E. Grant.
Sorry, guys.
from
Richard E. Grant.
I think hangnail, thumbnail. He's been around.
I remember him from Spice World.
Yes.
A big banger of his.
Uh,
but he's been around. Yeah, he's been in so many projects.
He's that creepy English guy,
Yeah.
and he does such a good job.
Yeah,
at
he
it.
does. He plays like a character that he's like an idiot, or he's like a character that you love to hate because he plays an asshole so well.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Him as Loki,
Yeah.
and like his
Unreal.
intro to be like, "What's your plan? Not die. What are we doing? Not dying."
Yeah.
It's just like I
Well,
was
because
so-
we don't know how long they kind of hinted at it, but we know that those guys have been there for so long that that's just home.
Yes,
That's their normal now.
but everything is, and it was said 3 times
yeah.
by Kang the fucking Conqueror.
Yes.
Which I don't care. Like, as soon as I heard Kang the fucking Conqueror, Kang the
And
Conqueror,
his performance.
Jonathan, what's it, Jonathan?
Oh man, from his show got canceled, but I mean he's got a long future in the Marvel universe.
it was
now.
the something county.
yeah
on
dark
HBO. Lovecraft County.
Lovecraft County. That's
Yeah,
what it
Martin
was.
swears by it. He says it was amazing. I want to check
I
it out.
saw. I haven't finished
Jonathan
it.
Davies? No, that's not him. Jonathan something.
It is Jonathan Majors.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Definitely. Like
he's incredible.
Yeah. So we heard the multiverse said 3 times.
Yeah, like
One-
literally. Yeah.
Once for all of us to be like, yes.
Yeah.
A third time in case you were not in the room.
Yeah.
Or a second time. A third time for everybody who just started watching Loki that day.
Yeah. Literally.
Like they were
Literally.
like, we're making this really easy on you.
Yeah, because it's funny. When Loki ended, now it's pretty much kind of fillers until we really get to like, okay, let's see these multiverse, because Loki ends again. Spoiler, where it's like the multiverses are madness. Like
Yes.
it's going out of fucking control. That the TVA, the sole agency that's supposed to keep things in order, can't.
Now, we all thought Wanda was going to be the one to break the multiverse.
Yeah.
And I even thought it was coming
For sure.
in the show.
And they wanted you to.
But now we know that Loki
Yeah.
and everything that
Mischief.
he caused with Algalith, the big cloud.
Oh yeah, Agalith, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone said Kane the Conqueror like 2 days before the episode came out. So
Yeah.
I hit Wiki
Yeah.
and was like, who is this guy?
Yeah. Oh man, that storyline's incredible.
That storyline
Yeah.
allows Kane the Conqueror to be, it dates back to the 31st
Yeah.
century in Egypt,
Yeah.
has deep ties to Reed Richards,
Yeah.
controls time
Oh, yeah.
and a lot of like
He's connected to the Fantastic Four more than people realize.
Yes.
Like his connection with and again, looking at that Phase 4 list, you're like, Fantastic Four does seem like an odd one there, but now with King, it's like, and again,
confirmation.
King is he's our new Thanos. And what's funny, remember how awful and how we're like, how hard it seemed like to overcome Thanos and the snap and everything? Yeah, King, it's like King is making that snap look like nothing now.
Kang's A game is being
nuts.
a variant.
Totally.
He's never the same version in any century that he's in.
No.
And that's part of his power where he manipulates the Avengers.
Yeah.
So
And even the King we saw in that Loki episode.
not the right King.
Right. But we don't even know, like, he's not the King, say, the Conqueror. He even mentions, because he's like, I've been called many things, a conqueror. And that was like, yep, OG fans, like, thank you. You know, that was like a confirm. But we don't even know how bad his is. He's not as bad as, say, the Conqueror and the other ones. But the fact that he was getting off on everything unfolding is like, this guy is kind of crazy.
Well,
it's like a Joker.
Yeah. Yeah.
He reminds me of like a Marvel Joker.
Dude, I stopped everything except breathing when he stepped on screen. I was
It was
just
unreal.
Like, who is
Unreal.
this guy?
He takes the elevator up with them, and he's like, just come up with me. Like, I'm the guy that you guys have been spending this whole show looking for. You got me. Just come on, let's get up in this elevator. And like, I'm going to tell you everything. But like, you know, isn't he eating an apple? He's like totally just.
I think.
He reminded me of a Joker. Like, that's when that line, some men just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
King the Conqueror.
He's green and purple.
Totally. Yeah,
Not a
there
stretch.
you go.
Not a stretch for them to be like DC. We're looking at you.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
There you
Like
go.
play it like Jack Nicholson. Right?
Yeah.
Just lose your shit.
Yeah.
Put a little Heath into that, man. See what comes out. I think they missed an opportunity where Ken could have handed over a facsimile where they were like, and this is everything you said.
Oh my God.
And he just continually does that.
Yeah.
There was another nod. We'll circle back to Kang in a sec, but there was another nod that I don't want to forget about when they put Loki in that time loop with his sister or his friend from Asgard.
Oh, Synth or what's her name? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, part of Thor's crew. Yeah.
And she just kept coming in over and over again, and I was like, that's a time loop, and that's Dormammu.
Yeah.
That's very strange.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just giving you the same trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what I really hope in some way, shape, or form is Doctor Strange hovering over four worlds, losing his mind, sweating.
Yeah.
Trying to keep he's above it all.
Yeah.
Right? Like we've seen everybody.
Yeah.
But he's above it all trying to keep it together, and that's when the multiverse breaks and the horror happens.
Well, and what's interesting is the only time we've ever seen someone really using their craft, like their magic or whatever, is Doctor Strange. And then at the end of WandaVision, she's doing it.
Yeah.
There's no way that he can't hear her or like feel a disturbance in the Force or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're all good?
Totally
Okay,
good.
Yeah.
I don't know why we stopped recording here, but we're still recording there. So
Okay,
it's all
good.
So
all
that's
right,
fine.
we're good. Yeah. No, but that's good to look because I know that. I've recorded for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh my God, the card said full after a minute. Fuck me.
Yeah, this is playing it loosey goosey over here with just one.
We're in the Wild West now.
We got no redundancy, man.
Oh, I love it.
This
I love
fucker
it.
fails, the whole show's gone.
You know what? We like to live on the edge.
I
So
do. And so does Loki. So
yeah,
all in all, King Conqueror kicking the shit out of his role. Like Jonathan Majors.
And again, when we see him again, it's going to be a completely different performance. That's what's even better. This is an actor's dream because that amazing performance he had in that short of an episode, or that part in an episode, we may never see that variant version again.
No, we not.
Right.
No, we not.
Oh,
I don't even know English.
Oh, right. No, we don't. Right. Because of what happens, what causes the whole thing.
Yeah,
right.
he's gone. Spoiler alert, he's dead. This is a review. So if you haven't seen it by now, tough fucking titties.
And his death is essentially what causes the multiverse of madness.
Yeah, it's also tied
It's
into
what
a nice
gets it
fucking
going,
bow.
essentially, of like, yep, we're fucked.
So story, 10 out of 10.
Without a doubt.
character
Yeah.
development, acting,
Absolutely.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Points don't matter.
Oh, one of my favorite every season, no matter if it's 6 episodes, 10, whatever, has that filler episode. Loki is one of the coolest filler episodes, in my opinion, with that planet. That whole episode where they're trying to outrun a planet crashing into them was the coolest filler episode I've ever seen. It was awesome.
They just wanted you got dialogue.
Yeah.
They really wanted you to, and they, I think, yes, filler, 100%. Like,
for sure.
even
Like,
if,
and I don't mean that in a bad way.
No,
I just mean it was like
just by definition of
yeah,
like, we need
it
the
just
filler.
it took you on a little bit of a derail from the main storyline, and it was a filler episode to get you there.
But it wasn't not important.
No, it wasn't. Absolutely, it's not like you can skip it.
They developed a relationship that
Yeah.
would not have been as damning in the last episode,
Right.
than had they not done that and they were just like,
Right.
outrunning shit. They actually
Right.
stopped and they were like, well, fucking
That's
bend
right.
over, kiss your ass. Here
And
we
it's
go.
also one of those moments too of like, how do you actually mentally deal with the idea of like, well, I'm just waiting to die.
yeah.
Like, and not in a way where you're in a hospital bed. You're like, I'm staring at literally a planet coming to crash into my planet, and I just have to wait until it runs out.
I can't wait when they bring him back. He says he'll play Loki until the day he
Yeah.
dies. I hope
Totally.
Sophie makes appearances. I hope.
And look, and what's cool is like we saw an older Loki in Richard E. Grant, so he could play until he is the Richard E. Grant, the classic Loki.
yeah.
He could be eventually the classic Loki of his timeline.
Well, it would be real fun to like age him out to Richard E. Grant, and
Oh,
then he's
yeah.
like, "I'll take my timeline now.
Yeah, totally,
I'll be gone."
totally.
So just to kind of tie it all into a nice bow here. Final thoughts before we move on.
I'm loving Phase 4 so far, man. I love that Marvel, like, it didn't necessarily go their original way, obviously with COVID and delays and shit, but I think the focus and the spotlight went on the TV shows, and it should have, because TV shows are a little bit better of a medium to do the groundwork. I shouldn't say a little bit. They are a way better medium to do the groundwork of setting up something like a Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Like, trying to do what they did in these 3 shows in a movie would have been fucking annoying.
You would have rushed so many things.
For sure.
Yeah.
So now when we get the movies, it's just like, here's 2 hours of satisfaction, fan service, enjoy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's when I'm totally.
We'll be back after summer break.
I can't, like, I am loving that Marvel is. I love what they're doing with Phase 4, and I love that they are really, really pushing themselves, and they want to do more. Like, they want these next 10 years to be completely different from the previous 10, and I see it, and I love what they're doing.
Very Pearl Jam of them.
Very, very. That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
So, some shit happened over the weekend where He-Man Revelation was released, and you don't know. Like, we were talking about this before we started recording. That like I'd give you the full spec on it, and here's my abridged version. It's from Twitter, so it's the most unreliable place on the planet.
And hateful.
And hateful. So yeah, like but like I can see through the hate, but the quoting and all that shit, whatever. If I could teach Berger to fucking type, he would, right? And just my cat has an Instagram page. What does that say about
my
the
God.
same place where you get your information?
My
from?
cat's trending more.
So, He-Man gets released, and for like the last 5 to 8 weeks, I listen to Fat Man Beyond every week. So they've been talking about how Clownfish, this website, called out Smith and was like, "We know what you're about to put out at the end of July," and they talked about how a leaked version of how He-Man was going to be it was going to be scrapped soon. And this is full of spoilers, listeners. So if you're still wanting to watch, I'm still going to watch. But if you still want to watch and you really do give a shit, you can skip this part. So anyways, the powers that be at Clownfish called him out. And I mean, right where it starts, he's someone's employee. So he's giving marching orders, right? And everybody's giving marching orders. You don't talk about your IP until it's out so that people, right? Like,
Right.
you're not going to fucking
Right.
kneecap yourself.
Yeah.
So every week, whenever the haters would say shit, he'd be like, "This is all about He-Man. This is about He-Man's story. This is about He-Man's, everything is He-Man. He-Man. And now it comes out this weekend, and spoiler alert, He-Man dies, quote unquote, in the first episode.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, but that's okay. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
know,
saying,
I don't give a shit
you
about
ruined
you.
it for me.
Yeah,
I'm just
no.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. But like, damn.
Yeah, Skeletor dies.
Oh, so
Yeah. Now, I'm saying this because the story's more important than the actual IP, the actual fucking watching the show.
right.
Because he made a thing, and he was told to make a thing, and that thing was instructed by Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So he can come up with every idea that pays fan service
Mm-hmm.
to every 40 and 50-year-old person around right now, right? Because that's who's a fan of this.
Yeah,
it isn't
yeah.
the 20-year-olds.
No,
right?
no, for sure, for
Us.
sure,
So-
for sure.
Well, me, because I'm fucking ancient to you, but like, not really.
No,
But like, the thing that sucks is that, like, yes, okay, it's a lie. He said the complete opposite thing.
yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
But you're such assholes,
Mm-hmm.
and all of you fucking pariahs online who can't wait to screw somebody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the reason why they lied. I'm not
Right,
defending the
right.
lie.
no,
I'm saying that if people would give shit a chance, if they would see it from a different perspective, if they weren't so
he
fucking
wouldn't
high,
have to lie.
he wouldn't have to lie,
Yeah.
right? And everybody could be more open and honest, and then not you still don't reveal the fucking ending,
Yeah,
like I did the beginning, but like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you don't like, but it's prevalent because that's part of the story. It's all He-Man, but He-Man is Prince Adam in the series,
Yes.
so he's just he's Benjamin Buttoned,
Way to
and
put it.
so that's the general consensus of the story, is that the big lie was that Clownfish was right,
Right.
and he
Right.
went online and started giving everybody shit back. But it's wrong for a guy who's got a bit of scratch and has a career and has things, and people who don't have things like to take things away from people who do.
Right.
And so the internet's just been fucking venom about it
Yeah.
forever. And
As
I'm like,
they would.
and like, you know what? If I was super invested in this, sure, I'd probably be butthurt.
Right.
But are you not, like you said earlier, are you not fucking sensible enough that Netflix was like, we will sue you
Yeah.
and your career out of
Of course.
what little career he says he has left.
Right.
Goes through the shit. And I'm a fucking shill because I've interviewed the guy and I've
Right.
talked to him and I'm a big fan.
Right.
So don't take my word for it, but think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
yeah,
not
yeah.
lying because he wants to lie.
No, not at all.
He's lying
And
be-
knowing him, that he obviously was probably not for it.
Like
But
everyone,
it's not up
yeah,
to him.
Every one of you is not a Kevin Smith fan because you never hear him talk about his dick and his weird shit going on in his life.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
if
yeah.
you knew that he was always honest about 98% of everything else,
Right, right,
then you'd be like, oh, well, he had a job and he
Right.
couldn't- he signed an NDA.
right.
The-
It's also the big thing is that Kevin Smith is the most notable name. Like, I'm not trying to shit on anybody who's a part of that show, but the reason why everyone's blaming Kevin Smith is because if they actually were like, who's the actual creator? Who's the actual? And they were like, Mark Smith is the worst. People would be like, who's Mark Smith? Right? But saying Kevin Smith's the worst. And then these other trolls, as they're called, are like, yeah,
But here's-
fuck that dude.
Here's the thing: a dude can catch a fucking fair ball at a baseball game, and nobody knows his name and hates him.
Yeah, no, that is a very good point. That is a very good point.
So it's not always about anonymity.
You're
it's
right.
more about
Right.
they have a thing and I don't have a thing.
That's what it is, for sure. And like, again, the lie thing is, because I look at it from,
A lie's shitty, but
it sucks.
and it's shitty when it
sucks.
comes to a thing you're excited
Right, but it's also not unheard of in marketing for things like this. The thing, too, is like, you look at it being called Masters of the Universe Revelations. Revelations implies it's for a new generation. I get that. But, my God, can you not even just give us, like, the season ends with that and then a passing of the torch? The first fucking episode, that hurts. That is a lie.
for.
That's mean.
It is, and if that was done to me on Westworld,
But I blame Netflix.
exactly.
I
Just
don't blame Kevin Smith.
nowhere. So the writing is Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
The character development is Kevin Smith.
Right.
Then you fucking idiots out there who don't know how a movie gets made.
Right.
Then the money people go, we don't like that,
Yeah, for sure.
but we like
sure.
this. And
Right.
then you're like,
Right.
but that doesn't make any sense. And then commerce
Yes.
meets creativity.
It's also like, and I don't want to come off as sounding like an asshole. It's just, this is
too late.
for sure. But it's also one of those things too that not that Netflix isn't about inclusion and everything. There is a business side to it. And
Yes.
they are a business.
We have to check and balance that shit.
So it also is annoying because I brought up She-Ra, which is an awesome fucking show too. It's just weird that they found a way to almost She-Ra He-Man. So I'm like, that also shits on She-Ra.
You could have done She-Ra again.
Yeah,
And
like,
brought her
or-
back into light
yeah.
and write her into the 21st
Yeah,
century.
And again, it's Masters of the Universe, so I don't understand why one needs to die for the other one to have a spotlight. Why don't He-Man and She-Ra work together?
I don't know
Like
how, the
how
rest,
Black
yeah.
Widow and Cap and right, like it's a team,
I don't know how the rest of it goes.
right?
I'm gonna
But
love it.
Skeletor too.
Yeah, it's just
Also, what it makes me say is, looking at it from Kevin Smith's point of view, the fucking show is called Revolution, and he wants to homage the OG, but he doesn't want to do what Hollywood does, which is like, let's just remake the whole fucking thing, like word for word, shot for shot kind of thing. So I respect, but yeah, it's the lie thing. Like, that sucks. You never want to be lied to. And also, it seems like Netflix is like, so we'll bring in the OG fans and get them hyped for literally one episode and then fuck them. And that's annoying. Like, yeah. Damn.
I'm just fact checking myself because I'm like, I know He-Man bites it, and I heard secondhand that Skeletor bites it.
No,
So-
but I mean,
so
regardless,
listener,
even if it's not like, even if the fact is like, even if it's like they both don't die, the focus goes away from He-Man. He-Man is not a focus. And when you think of Masters of the Universe, unfortunately, you do think of Prince Adam and He-Man. Like, him and Skeletor are the staple, and they're clearly using the show to move on away from it. But it's just like, man, it's like if you had, like, Netflix has a Transformers show, which is amazing, and if Optimus and Megatron died in the first episode, I'd probably be like, fuck this show.
well, like,
right? Like-
okay, hang on here. And that's because it does confirm the death of He-Man
For
But
sure.
But it also, because he's also killed by Skeletor, and this time he'll be unable. I should turn my mic around. Unable to enter the eternal life that was rewarded as his reward as Eternius champion. Why has Smith made these unexpected narrative choices?
Also, I even if Skeletor doesn't die,
I need to confirm this. You keep fucking fapping.
Skeletor lives for He-Man. So if He-Man dies and he lives, he's going to be sad. He's not going to be Skeletor. He's going to get a job. He's going to hate his life like a regular, thing, and then he's just going to kill himself. Like, I can't see Skeletor getting rid of He-Man and then being like, now on to the other ones. Like, he's going to be like, it's that scene with Joker. Like, Batman completes him. He needs Batman. He can't, I don't know, man. I am a little let down because the new Transformers show is like a Revelation one, and it's like fucking wicked.
No, He-Man does appear in all 5 episodes of Part 1, even if Tila is the lead. That's the confirmation. Adam is not
Tila,
actually
that's
dead.
the
Dead. This is a fantasy universe after all. He goes on a paradise made for heroes like him, but opts to come back to be with Tila and reclaim his power. Skeletor intervenes, stabs him, takes the power for himself, and yet doesn't seem like Adam has died a second time and can probably heal from what doesn't appear to be a fatal wound. Again, this is just part 1 of season 1, and 5 more episodes will follow, which will likely continue to feature He-Man and Skeletor. If the show goes past single season like She-Ra, which ran for 5 seasons, I think it will simply too early to tell how much He-Man will feature, even if Tila continues to be elevated. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. I'm full of fucking bullshit. I heard wrong. I'm sorry, guys.
No, but I mean,
No dead Skeletor, only dead He-Man.
but you know what though? Again,
And not even dead.
I bet
It's
you
like
Skele-
fucking Marvel. Nobody
Yeah.
ever dies.
That's what I mean. Like, he goes to the paradise of heroes. Like, what the fuck does that? And then he can come back. So then just make a He-Man.
Yeah, no.
If you're gonna kill him off and then bring him back, you just keep him. Whatever you're doing. Like, they killed off Optimus in Transformers 2, brought him back at the end of the fucking movie, and then they make every scene in every other movie. Oh, Optimus might die, and you're like, even if he does, we saw this already.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think I look at it from Kevin Smith's perspective. The guy was super excited. He grew up with these characters and whatnot. But
Yeah.
clearly when he agreed...
Actually, no. I think he said he didn't.
But
I could be wrong on that too.
Even when he agreed to do it, it sounds like Netflix is very much... They had an idea.
Yeah, they did.
They had an idea, and it's their way or the highway.
And it's 5 episodes of part 1.
That's true.
It's
true.
and it's the same
But
animation.
now I'm worried that I'm like, I hope he's not like, Netflix is like calling him. And
No,
he's
no,
like
they're done.
rewriting.
They're done.
Okay,
They're done.
It's just they're waiting to release it. Basically.
Yeah, they're just
Gotcha.
they're just hanging out
Gotcha.
there.
Because that was another thing, right? Because if this was Warner Brothers, that's exactly. They'd be like, get fucking everyone on the phone.
My point is though, is that after all of this, like, I really think the reason, like, shitty online people, don't make good dialogue.
No.
And I've never been like, oh, that applies to anything I like. But then when you think about it, 14-day embargoes, 24-hour, 36-hour embargoes,
Right.
allowing a movie to actually make money because people can tear it to shreds. And I and me and you and everybody is so easily persuaded by this shit.
Right.
That, like, I'm like, no, I don't want to see Escape Room 2, but I went to the theater to go see it. And it's not because I didn't want to see it. It's just because I'm like, I'd rather go see something else in the theater, but like, give it a shot. Right.
But that's a movie too that the first movie I saw in theaters when they reopened was Fast 9. And I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't in theaters, I probably wouldn't watch it.
Nobody watches that
That's
garbage
like,
at home.
Right. And it's like a popcorn movie. It did its job.
That $1 billion garbage.
Dude, I can't believe it. And the movie is so stupid. But you know what, though? They know it is. And they have so many shots and dialogue where it's like it's like pause for laughter. You know what I mean? So I'm like, at least they're at that point. Like, at least they know that it's ridiculous and it just needs to be more stupid. Because you know what I mean? It's like, it's still crazy to me. Still crazy that it's a $1 billion franchise. And there's no way that any of these motherfuckers back in 2000 were like, yeah, I can't wait for this to get to Fast 10. Right?
No
way.
No.
And that makes sense why, this is a whole nother tangent, but I'll just end on this. This is why The Rock is like, fuck that franchise, and why him and Vin Diesel had a big thing, because this is the only thing Vin has, man. It's the only thing. And when The Rock showed up, everyone's like, hey, we could continue this franchise with you. And Vin's like, no. That's what happened there. And The Rock knows.
100%.
Right. And The Rock's like, buddy, I have 15,000 other franchises I'm doing right now. You have this one.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Here you go.
Like, you can have it.
You want my scraps?
Right? Because watching Fast 9 2, that I was like, they brought in John Cena to replace The Rock, and I'm sorry, but like, John Cena's fine, but he's not The Rock, man.
No,
like,
he's not.
Right. He's just not. Like, he's a beefcake, sure, but he's not The Rock. I don't know. It was weird. But again, it's my Escape Room 2.
Yeah. All right. Fine. Like, I just want to say, like, I mean, it's not really a thing. It's like, you can either be mad about it or you cannot be mad about it. But I guess I just implore people, watch it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still going to watch it, even though I know
will
and
too.
everybody's chewed it apart online.
I will too.
And look at it for, like, look, the fact that they're trying to give Tila front and center is awesome.
Yeah, it is, for
but
sure.
I just think
She should have just added her own show called Tila.
Yeah.
And Prince Adam can be in it.
You can guest spot.
But you don't need to kill him and stuff so that it's like, Tila's the focus. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like the fact that it's like, you can't have two characters. Like, it's got to be woman dominant, to the point where I'm like, but if I was doing it the other way around, where if I was like, this is Tila in Masters of the Universe, and in the first episode I kill her and all the female characters and just have He-Man take over, I'm sure people would be pissed. And they have every right to.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
And so and that's the thing, is that you're playing with the hearts and minds of fandom.
Yeah.
And that's a whole...
That's why I'm like, Netflix, why don't you guys, like, you guys have an amazing animation side. Why don't you guys just do this with original characters? Why did it have to be Matt?
Scratch,
I know,
buddy.
I know, but it's like, fuck. And then when all the OG fans, who this really should be for, because we're the reason that it was a cult following.
Yeah.
They're angry, and it's like, why? It's like,
and
what?
that's the thing I think Marvel has over everybody.
Yeah.
Is that they don't compromise story, where
Mattel
and Netflix were like, no, we're gonna, and Mattel's thinking from a toy perspective.
Yeah,
right?
product.
They're thinking from like marketing Tila and then pushing that bullshit marketing
Toys.
thing to young girls and stuff, where it's just like, how about you just do it and let it fucking take
That's what I mean. And like,
write a
guess
great
what?
character, make a toy, and then people will buy it.
And guess what, you fucking idiots? Disney also makes toys, and their toys outsell yours. Guess why? Because they like those characters more, because again, you guys give them developed good character. Like,
I don't know. I might buy a Battle Cat before I buy a Minion.
Oh, I will never buy. Minions are Disney now. Ugh. Gross.
I know.
No, I don't like that. I like when I went into the Disney store, it was like lightsabers. And then they had a collect set of like remember in like the 70s, 80s when they had the set of figures like this size and they had like a set of like 10 to 15 of them.
Yeah.
So they did that again with like with OG Star Wars, so Yoda from Empire, Luke, and then they did it with the new like 7 and 9 episodes, and they had that cast like Finn, Rey, and I was like,
still can't make me like it.
I was like, I like that they're at least giving us like those are the toys that I can get into still, because I'm like, that's gonna go on the shelf for nerd room stuff rather than like this toy you press a button it shoots out a fucking, not that I'm not into that, but I'll never use it. So
Totally.
I'm more into like the models, if you will, kind of thing, like stage things and whatnot. So like but anyways, yeah,
When someone says Star Wars now, Charles, I immediately just think, I hate you, Kathleen Kennedy.
oh god, yeah, like that was the worst thing they ever did.
That's
Until this day, I still don't understand, because
No,
she even admitted,
we're not doing this. We're not.
Sorry,
We're not.
Yeah, no, that's
we're
a whole other episode.
not-
sorry.
No, it's never an episode.
it's never.
We're not doing the Star Wars spiral.
Oh yeah, no,
That's a
because it's a
thing.
bad. It's a bad thing.
It's
Yeah,
fucking addictive.
and also, instead of spiraling negatively, Mandalorian,
Yes.
like Ahsoka Tano, like they know what they did.
This is
so.
still spiraling down Star Wars. Dude,
But anyways,
okay.
yeah.
So, do you want to watch Ghostbusters Afterlife?
Oh my god, that's right.
Because you haven't seen the trailer yet.
No, like I am so fucking hyped for this movie already.
I've seen this,
and I
7
haven't
times
seen
today.
it. Oh yes. Yeah, no, I'm already like when you posted about the Ghostbusters topic, I assumed you were talking about the one that they released last year, because I love that trailer, and that trailer got me like I was sold already. And then when I realized they actually released one today, I was like, holy fuck. And November, is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's this year. Love it.
Let me just turn my mic around.
Oh, and I want
Okay.
to see this in theaters.
All right.
I never got to see a Ghostbusters in theaters, so
Hang on here.
other than the most recent one, but that I didn't
I
really
know
like
what
that.
I'm trying to do here. Hang on. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. We're putting it through the wrong speakers. Where's that sound tab? Come on, Steve Jobs, make this easier.
Channel your powers.
Output. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. They don't need to hear it. We're hearing it. We gotta get.
Oh
rid
yeah,
of,
we'll just tell you guys if you want to cue.
No, they'll hear
your
it. They
sound.
just won't hear it. We just got to wait for the ad to stop playing. Because I'm not signed in. I'm signed in on the wrong account. I have. YouTube.
I just found out that they play ads in
All
front of
right,
my
all right,
shit.
all right. Here we go.
Sorry.
Here we go.
Here we go.
You're a great mom.
I don't know. I'm fine with Trevor, but with Phoebe,
Oh,
she
Phoebes.
really keeps me on the outside.
That's normal. She's an awkward, nerdy kid.
Yeah.
Maybe a new home could be an opportunity to start fresh. I just wish she'd get into some trouble.
There's still time.
No way. Fights under the floorboards.
Yeah.
Love it.
There's the what is it? The
Echo.
Echo. Well,
Echo
yeah,
one.
Echo 1. But what's the containment unit? The
Oh,
trap.
fuck.
Ghost trap.
Yes. Yeah.
There they are.
Yeah.
There she is.
Oh my God.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Left us nothing. Well, I wouldn't say no.
So Egon is grandpa.
Yeah.
Egon's
It's
daughter
her
and
grandpa.
granddaughter. Yeah.
Because
so-
that's who she looks like.
Yeah. That's Egon's
Yeah.
grandkid. Finn Wolfhard.
Oh yeah. Is that Echo? Yeah. That's Echo 1. Man. And his son is directing it? Like, come on.
You just wait for it.
Happening here.
Somehow, a town with no fault lines is shaking on a daily basis.
Paul Rudd, you ageless motherfucker. Yeah. What does that look like? That looks like 1 and
From
2.
the front. Yeah. Is that fucking painting motherfucker back?
Ooh, you just wait for it.
Noises in the middle of the night.
Was that Aykroyd?
You experience feelings of dread in your basement or attic?
It's the ad.
Family ever seen a
Spook, specter, or ghost.
Oh my God, Marshall and men. Get out of here.
Baby Stay Puff. Just wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Cool.
It's coming. We'll watch it again after we're done here, but like
This looks so good.
Watch what comes out of the Walmart doors. Watch what comes out of the Walmart doors.
Oh my God, it is!
Goes to the
Zool!
It's Zool.
Zool!
Goes
No way! Is that fucking what's his face
That's
too?
Slimer.
Oh my God, this looks so good!
Wait for it.
It's her. Oh my God, was that Bill?
No.
Who was that?
That was Ray Stantz. It's Dan
Get
Aykroyd.
out of here. That was Aykroyd.
That was Aykroyd.
Oh my God, he just said we're closed? So he's still there. Like the line works.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh my God, dude, that looks great.
Right?
Even the they did and see, this is what I love. They did what a trailer should. They didn't reveal fuck all. Like, I don't know what the story's about or anything, but they gave me enough that I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks good. Like, the effects look great, man.
I think it's the same effect house that was on the first one. I
Yeah,
tripped
that
over a
orange
couple,
and like the blue, like
everything.
Oh,
Everything
dude,
is,
perfect.
Everything is.
And I think they showed a bit of Zool with the hair, like the chick with the.
So coming out, well, you don't see Dana, but coming out of the pit, there looks like to be a painting.
Yeah. Oh, the painting from from the second one.
From the second one.
Yeah.
But that is Zool come running out of Walmart. The dog.
Yeah,
The
Rick
dog.
Moranis
Rick
is.
Moranis.
Yeah. That is him. Oh my God.
Anybody want to play Parcheesi?
Oh my God, I'm locked out. Oh my God, that is so cool. So I love they're clearly it's obviously a sequel. Like they're making it a direct sequel from.
It's the trequel.
It's the three. Yeah,
the trequel.
It's the third one we never got.
Yes, and
they're doing it right because with Harold Ramis, that was the big thing. Was how do we do this without him?
I think that containment unit that was in the bottom of the firehouse is buried on that farm property, and it was meant to be left for dead, and the only thing that Grandpa Egon left the family was this
farmhouse,
and they trip over everything
and it and open it and everything gets out.
So the ghosts that the Ghostbusters had to catch in the first one back when you will have cameos of ghosts from the past of other movies because they're out again.
And then whatever new ones are on this new this land and everything. Yeah,
exactly.
man, that's awesome.
Like the taxi driver ghost.
I was gonna say
looked like
was
the guy
that guy?
in the diamond.
Yeah. And they could definitely have the librarian one from the very opening scene. Like, dude, that is fucking.
Get her.
Oh my God, so good.
Yeah,
and the fact that it is Ivan Reitman's son directing this is unreal.
They're very similar in their humor too.
Yes,
very dry and sweet,
and you know
wholesome.
that he's obviously doing this as a tribute to his father and a tribute to every Ghostbuster fan and everything.
Well,
so we still don't know for sure about Bill Hay. Like they definitely had Dan there, so that's Dan.
All right, how hard do you think it would have been to keep Bill Murray's cameo in Zombieland down?
Oh, for sure.
How hard?
Sure. And that was what 2000, early 2000s or whatever, 2008, let's say.
Bill Murray has an answering machine.
Yeah. I heard he
doesn't
has
have an
a
agent.
line. No, you just leave a message and then he'll call you back.
That's how he did Garfield.
Yeah.
Because the guy who left the message, last name was Cohen. He thought it was one of the Cohen brothers.
I love how in Zombieland he's like, Garfield. He just says it straight
that's
up.
Deadpool, man.
And he did two of them.
Hey, man, paycheck.
Dude, and you know what? If anybody was going to do Garfield, it was Bill Murray. It wasn't him. It was just everyone that did that movie was not a Garfield fan.
How are you giving Bill Murray shit for Garfield when he did Where the Buffalo Roam, when he did Caddyshack?
Also, when I read Garfield now, it's his voice, and it's even better.
Right?
Yeah. It's, no.
I don't know if Ernie Hudson is still alive or not.
He is.
Okay, so
he
have
is.
3
I
left.
think he's going to be in there.
And I mean, all of them have said, I know Aykroyd was like, the script is amazing.
Yeah, I heard they all loved it.
The
fact that they read it is huge.
I think you're going to hear some spook story after all this is done about how Bill Murray said no. And then when he found out they were filming, showed up and was like, what do you want me to do?
Without a doubt.
Just fucked with everybody?
Totally.
Told.
Because he did that with, I think they said with Ghostbusters 2, or maybe, with Ghostbusters 2.
No.
He never, he told them he was in, but he never showed up to any table reads, nothing. And then day one of filming, he's like, so where do you need me? And they thought he wasn't going to do it.
There's a lot of improv in 2 as well.
Yeah, yeah.
between
Because
him
he
and
hated
Aykroyd?
it. He did not like the script really. And even too, like, you know what it is like, obviously now, there's a huge difference between the second and the first one. And it's one of those things because not unfortunately, but Ghostbusters, like, it was one of those things that, like, the first one worked because it was so unique and so there was no pressure. It was just like, we're making it because this is what we wrote and whatnot. And then the second one is what I love what Ice Cube says in 22 Jump Street. Do the same fucking thing. Like, he literally is saying, like, just more money. So we need a bigger villain, bigger effects, right? And Murray is not that type of guy, man. Like, he doesn't fucking care about that. So
The Bill Murray stories that float online about how
Amazing.
like he was supposed to go to an interview and then he canceled it, but stopped to play basketball with a bunch of guys.
yeah, or like he's
But hang on, then then reschedules the interview, and the guy's like, "What happened?" He was like, "I had nothing to talk about, so I went and did something."
and now I have something to tell you.
He was like, "I play basketball with these guys."
Fuck. One of my favorite intros he ever did, like Conan, he loved Conan because he knew that Conan was the type of interviewer that you could just show up and like Robin Williams him. Like you could just have like
he would never show.
I'm
He'd
not
always
gonna
show up
talk
in costume. That was his.
Dude, he showed up as Liberace one time.
That's right.
Full on. Like, he came on the stage in a limo. Because it was when they were in LA and he had a different studio.
Is Paul Rudd the new Bill Murray?
Oh my God, dude. He totally could be.
It's
totally
the Mac
could
and
be,
Me.
for
It's
sure.
the Mac and Me before the Mac and Me.
If I was ever going to cast a young Murray in something, it would be Paul Rudd.
For sure.
Like, Paul Rudd could play Bill Murray in Caddyshack in the making of Caddyshack.
Okay, hang on. What if Paul Rudd is Bill Murray's son and they don't know each other?
Oh my God.
And then
It'd be
Bill Murray
hilarious.
shows up and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing here,
Yeah,
son?"
and he's like, "Uncle or Dad?"
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
Everyone's like, "What?"
And then that's the
the
moment we all go, "Yeah, that could totally work."
Because see, and this is what's getting me so excited about Afterlife is obviously I'm like, the fact that they have these young generation, they want this to be it. They want Ghostbusters to be that franchise that we all love again, and that, you know, swoop the nation, right?
Yeah.
As it did in the original. And they got a great young cast there. Those young kids are fucking great.
Yeah, she's in something too. I can't remember.
And she's good in it. I know that, and Finn is. I mean, he's amazing, right? So
Sure, for a child actor.
and having Paul, well, because. So, did you ever hear originally? Like, it's great that Paul Rudd's in there, but the original pitch for
Hold
Ghostbusters.
that thought. I'm gonna get us more beer.
Oh, I still have some in this guy. So, what a gentleman! Oh, so this is okay. So we're just okay. It's just me on the mic now. Don't cut it. I'm gonna pour my heart out here. This is the part of the show that's just it's just me. This is Charles. Michael's gonna listen to this and he's gonna try and cut it, but you know, after he hears what I have to say, he won't. So Michael, this is how we're gonna make $1 million tonight on Bitcoin. I'm gonna bring over like 7 computers, and then we're all gonna plug them in the wall. So I'll probably have to get an extension cord or like one of those multi outlets that you plug in. And it makes 6 of them. Anyways, basically we're gonna just like your breaker's gonna be fucked, but we're gonna put these computers, we're gonna plug them in, we're gonna go on Google and we're gonna type in bitcoin.com. We're gonna let the computers do their thing. You're gonna check back in a couple hours and boom, Google got you Bitcoin 1 million. And then you go, you take it and you say, "Okay, thanks computers, I got it." And then you take those computers, all 7 of them, you go to the bank and you say, "Yep, I have the $1 million in Bitcoin and I'm here to make it into cash, like money that I can get groceries and other things with." And then they take those computers and they put them into their big safe, and then they give you a bag of money. And in that bag of money is a bag of money. Well, in the bag of money is just money. It's not another bag of money. Because if it was a bag of money and then inside it was a bag of money, that's just, they lied to you. But anyways, I think that's how Bitcoin works. And yeah, we're going to do it. And then people are going to buy all our skateboards. And yeah, you know what? That's what we'll do. We're going to go to the Forks, and we're going to go to the skate park, and we're going to do a live recording of our show, and whoever participates gets a skateboard. And then, yeah, that's how we're going to sell them. These are really good ideas. Yeah. You could do something with this. Oh, I was explaining to our audience how Bitcoin works.
Oh!
Yeah. I was actually explaining how you and I will make money off of Bitcoin tonight. So, yeah, get ready to listen to that. You're going to love it.
Not a problem. You were about to tell me something, and I walked up to get beer that you didn't want.
Afterlife.
Yes.
The future. Oh, Paul Rudd. Okay, so this is what I was going to tell you. So the original pitch for Ghostbusters 3, way back when Harold Ramis was still alive, was that Harold Ramis, like Ernie Hudson, the crew, the Ghostbusters crew, the movie would open up where they're doing a job and they all like break their backs and they're all like, fuck, we're getting too old for this shit. We need to bring in a new generation. So Bill Murray would be, or like one of them's like, you know, my kid or like my nephew has been obsessed with this. I think we can bring him in and whatnot. And the original idea was it was going to be the crew from 40-year-olds. So it was Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen. I think his name is Romany Malco. I can't remember his name fully.
Okay.
And and Steve Carell. And that was going to be our new Ghostbusters. But then things were happening with schedules, or I think Bill Murray really didn't want to do it because he thought it was going to be like a
How
Ghostbusters
the fuck
2.
would Steve Carell
And
play
then-
a nephew?
I don't know. I think it was going to be more like probably Paul Rudd's like would be his son or something. And then, yeah, it was like Bill Murray didn't want it. He really didn't like the idea of a Ghostbusters 3 because he felt like Ghostbusters 2 ruined it. So he was like, I don't. And then Harold Ramis died. And then they were like, fuck, well, we're not doing it. And then they tried. But again, I don't think Sony went for the female Ghostbusters to be like, let's give it to a new generation. That was their attempt at like using it on the business side of things. Trying to empower women from a business point of view. Because you had 4 of the funniest fucking women on the world and you didn't let them improvise, didn't let them riff on a script.
They were all canned.
Yeah. And then you bring in fucking Thor, which don't get me wrong, I love him, but you let him fuck around with the script, be the funniest character in the movie, and you defeat the purpose of why you made a female-led, like, ghost. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's a whole nother. But, like, that movie made me angry. And that's not me being like, I hate women, this and that. That movie just pissed me off.
Listener, it's a prime example right now what he's talking about. What you're getting at is hate the studio.
Sorry,
not
the studio.
Paul Feig.
No.
No,
I don't.
but it's like hating
but it's
Kevin
the studio.
Smith.
Yeah,
Right, yeah, like it's
yeah.
these-
Don't blame Kevin. It's the studio, man. Like, and that's the thing. I don't blame anybody involved in this movie because I guarantee Paul's original script is not what we saw.
They will just say,
Right.
you're fired. We'll get somebody else.
Yeah.
Someone's
Yeah,
always
for
waiting.
sure.
We'll take a gamble.
And
blah,
you
blah,
could tell,
blah.
like, I'm sorry, but like you could tell, like, you had Kate McKinnon and Kristen Wiig alone, like just those two. I was so underwhelmed with what they did with that. Like,
you had the starting lineup of SNL for female comedy.
yeah, man.
And you fucked it.
I know, man. I know. And so bad that they're like, well, I guess Ghostbusters is dead. And then thank God, like, you know,
The ghost of
the
Ghostbusters.
pitch. Oh my God, yeah. But like, and then like, I'm so happy like this movie is.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they exist in this universe too, because there's no reason they can't.
Oh, they're who?
You
Oh,
know?
the girls?
Yeah, like there's
Yeah.
no reason they can't.
No, you know
Like-
what? Because this is such a direct tie-in.
Yeah, I'm sure and they want to
as
erase
great-
it from
Well,
everyone's
no,
mind.
no. Like, yeah, sure, maybe. I don't know. But like, it would be clunky.
Yeah, and it would totally be a way of them again forcing.
Yeah.
Like, unless it was something neat, like Paul Rudd is a mystery character, so he could be like my friend that I know in New York, and then he calls and it's Kristen Wiig, right? And he's like, my friend is a scientist, or my friend's into this shit, right? Because they were into ghost studies and stuff too.
Yeah.
But again, not saying they need to do that, and I'm not like, again, it would feel forced because at this point, even as I say it, I'm like, that sounds weak to just be like, don't be like that movie was okay. You know what I mean? The other thing too that killed me was it was what Kevin Smith didn't want to do was that movie did try to very much rehash the first one. They even got Missy E and Fall Out Boy, which I'm going to blow my brains out, to redo the Ghostbusters theme. And yeah, it sounds exactly how it would if you say Fall Out Boy Missy E. What the fuck?
It's
It's
not.
horrible.
I'm afraid of that ghost.
Dude, it's so bad.
I'm afraid of that ghost.
And you know how bad it, like the movie ended and the
I'm
movie
not
sucked
calling
and then they
anybody.
do that.
I'm afraid of that ghost.
Man,
That's
it was
such
so
a
bad.
song.
And the only real tribute they had to Ghostbusters is they had the OG logo where it's the ghost looking scared and it has like the stop, like the no red bar over it. They had that graffitied on a wall in a subway, and it made no sense because the movie very much tries to say it's like they acknowledge the Ghostbusters, that like kind of the same way they did. They see them on YouTube or whatever, but then it's like, oh, fun, vintage, and then the laptop closes and you just pretend like they don't exist. Because Bill Murray makes a cameo, but he's not his character from Ghostbusters. He's a random dude. And then Dan Aykroyd makes that cameo as a fucking taxi driver. It's insane.
It was playing with a thing that if it's not broke, don't fix it.
It was,
and also,
and it's Sony.
Anything that you do, female, male, hopefully it's all being told all the time, but that's not the case. But all that stuff aside, it's about the story.
Yeah, and the characters.
Yeah. And if you're going to do a thing like they did with the girls, because I was just like, but you're like, I see all the other things that you do. Like
I know.
How is it that you're given free? Like Lorne Michaels is the only fucking person who knows how fucking that shouldn't be missed, and it was just so missed. But if you're going to deviate away from the thing that you're taking from, you can't just cut off the nose to spite the face. You have to gradually like oil and water, mix it together a little bit and then separate it later. So like if that movie had pulled from anything from the original universe, I bet you dollars to donuts asshole fans around the world would have been like, we'll receive it more. Well, because we know where you're coming from. This is where we're going.
Yeah.
As opposed to this is where we were, but we want to make it better. No. It's not bad for us. However you do it, with dogs, with dogs, aliens, You know what I mean? Like whatever you put in those four roles, it would be like doing a new Lord of the Rings thing without acknowledging fucking Gandalf.
Yeah,
right.
For sure,
and it's like
for sure.
These are the building blocks to which you want to build your universe. And I'm not saying this for me. I was okay with it. Like I didn't get what I wanted, but I'm also not going to be like,
I didn't
fuck those women.
And in no way was I like, women ruined it or anything.
No.
I was like,
well, there were
it
fucking
was
incels all over the planet.
That's why I was very nervous. Like, just being honest, whenever I critiqued that movie, I was very careful because there were a few times where I gave my honest opinion with you, like I just did, and everyone's like, "You hate that it was women." I'm like, if you listen to what I said, no, like that had nothing to do with it.
I hate that they didn't use those women in the right
I know.
way.
I'm sad that they
whole
got
movie
those talented women to just read off of it was like read off of the teleprompter, and it's like, what a waste! Like, what a waste!
The shit that Leslie could have like
I know
to allow her loudness, and not try to like.
And the way her character joins the Ghostbusters, like Ernie Hudson's was funny because they knew, like, even as writing that character, it's like, we need another guy. And then this guy just shows up and he's like, I need a job. You guys are crazy. He's like, you're on, right? The way Leslie Jones shows up is she's like, I'm angry. I see some crazy shit. And they're like, come on board. I'm like, no. Like, no, you tried to do an Ernie Hudson, but no, it did not. Like,
no.
I'm sorry. It's just like, it was almost like the people that were involved making the decisions were not Ghostbusters fans. They're just movie
Here's an idea. My uncle used to work here.
Mm-hmm. That
Ernie Hudson's niece.
subtle, simple thing.
Right?
And then they could YouTube them, see the original commercial, and be like, it checks out.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. That's me in the background, right?
I know.
And like...
So again, when you said before, this is don't blame the person, blame the studio. I 1000% blame the studio. If anybody knows me, or like here's anything I say, I have a vendetta with Sony. Like Sony, I hate them. Like I have a vendetta with them.
I can see the venom, but don't put it online.
I know.
You can be.
I know.
This is a safer space because I can understand it. But like
Right.
when people get shitty towards each other.
No, yeah,
and they're
no.
Fuck you for not liking Sony.
No.
Fuck you for liking Sony.
No, I'm just like
Fuck you both for being assholes.
And I don't care. It's just when people tell me I had people be like, "Are you pumped for Venom 2?" And I'm like, no, because again, it's hard for me to get jazzed when it's a Sony-led production. Like when it's Sony and MCU, I'd be like, yes, thank you. That safety comfort of knowing that Feige will not make shit.
Yeah.
You need that. But I'm sorry. Like looking even at the Morbius trailer, it looks like a Sony movie. It doesn't excite me. Also, why?
Sony just
Of all the villains, Morbius?
Sony just needs to just make Bond.
Yeah.
Amazon just needs to make Bond.
Yeah, right. And there you go. Beautiful. That's why Sony lost that one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Daniel Craig, amazing Bond. He's had some shitty movies though, and that's Sony. Sony has given him some shit.
So you want to see Ghostbusters is what you're saying.
I cannot wait. I will say this. I'm so happy it's coming out this year because that was one of the movies that I personally was like, when it got delayed, I was like, I get it because I do want to see it in theaters, but it hurt me because I'm like, oh, I need some Ghostbusters, and it looks so good. It looks so good. And this trailer, like, I'm going to go home and watch it like 15. I'm going to show Claudia 15 times. It's like, it looks great. Oh, I can't wait to see all the nerds on the forums freeze framing and being like, oh, there's Sigourney Weaver there. You know what I mean? Or like, like one of those. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. But no, it looks fantastic. I love that it's coming to theaters this year, November, like a few months. I shouldn't say few, but it's this year. This year coming out. I can't wait. Less than 6 months, which is great.
Yeah.
It looks unreal. And like, I can't wait. I just can't wait to see what it does for us in the
pandemic.
Like
makes us all happier for
and like exactly. And I love that it's going to definitely play homage to where it came from, but I love that we're getting something really new and exciting from Ghostbusters. And speaking of the team with the all women, all men, I love that we're getting kids, which is never seen, and boy, girl, girl, boy, like it doesn't matter. We're getting a group of kids that hang out and are discovering the Ghostbusters. And
which
that's
is what
awesome.
every kid wants.
Totally.
You want to find I want to find the Echo One.
Another shout out to Zombieland when he's like, oh my God, you're going to find out who you're going to call. Right? Like the idea that someone doesn't know Ghostbusters, you're like excited for them. It's
oh my God,
you're going to find out who you're going to call.
Okay. Right? Final thought. Yeah, I agree with everything that came out of Reitman's mind on that screen. It just has that wholesome fucking feeling.
Yeah.
And I see all the things that we've all been hoping, wishing, wanting.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. And just Ghostbusters is like the beach movie. Ghostbusters is the worn out, the last VHS copy you have of something.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters is a t-shirt. Ghostbusters is I had the fucking Firehouse and Echo One and
totally
like toys and the cartoon and Saturday morning cartoon specifically. Like Ghostbusters is a lot of things. It's a launch pad for 2 SNL veterans.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Right? Like there's so much tied into. It's not Lampoon, it's not SNL, but it's this like quirky idea that shouldn't work but fucking worked. And
it's one of those things that everything just came together. Like I can't wait. I don't know if you watch on Netflix, but the movies that made us. I can't
I started Jurassic Park.
Like the Ghostbusters, because again, even hearing, I can't remember his name, but the guy that made the song, he literally just got sent a synopsis of the movie and they're like, give us a song. And he was like, so the movie was pitched to me as Exterminators for Ghosts. So when I was a kid, there was always jingles like, call that exterminator, blah, blah, blah. So he was like, it started off as that, and then it turned into that's why, and when you listen to it, it's a jingle.
Oh, God, it is a jingle.
It's a total jingle. And hearing that now, it's so fucking funny. And I'm like, only in the 80s would that work.
Yeah.
Because they tried doing it with Missy and fucking Fall Out Boy now. And just hearing that, I can see the pain, right? There's pain there. Right.
Getting that bad taste in my mouth.
But
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just it. Yeah, I'm so happy that we're
Yeah.
getting more Ghostbusters.
That's
I love
that's
Ghostbusters.
beating a dead horse. Yeah, I think we're done.
yeah, I think we're good there.
Okay, there, boy.
Yeah.
All right, fucking Diener.
Diener!
Tron.
Yeah, Tron fucking blow.
Tron fucking blow. You're going to the Mac.
Let's go to the Mac, man.
Okay. This one's a hot topic. This one's fresh off like 72 hours old. The Exorcist.
Oh yeah.
The Exorcist is getting a direct sequel. And just for a listener and everybody else, there were 3 original Exorcists.
There was.
One of which was great, being the first. The second one was weird. And then the third one had nothing to do with Linda Blair. It had everything to do with the story that happened in the first one to the priest.
So
the priest in the first one was brought back in the third one.
Oh
Father
my God.
Father Karras, whatever.
So they Halloweened it in the sense of literally
Yeah.
that, like, because there's, I think Halloween 5 is even called like Spirit of Michael, and it has nothing to do with Michael Myers. It's like a cult that's deciding to just do random murders on Halloween.
Exactly.
Or
It's a small branch off the main line.
It's
And-
again like luring you in.
Yeah.
And
It's
giving you something
it's
else.
It's the bait and switch.
Yeah,
essentially.
exactly.
That's the
Exactly.
theme of this show.
Yeah,
Right?
The bait and switch.
He-Man,
That's the name.
Ghostbusters, right? Like
There's the name right there.
It's studios, guys. At the end of the day, it's studios
It's
using
studios.
things that we love.
Yeah.
As much as we love the studio for
Right.
making it, it's studios taking things that you love and twisting them and turning them and
So
fucking
yeah, if
them
you
up.
want to blame the person that's in charge of that
All of you
studio, like if it's
Twitter
a
assholes.
if it's a Kathleen Kennedy, no, don't do that.
No, everybody has a right to say what
But
they
it's a
want, but just be
studio.
nice about it.
But yeah, and like I honestly like again when you just look at track records of certain studios, it's the studio,
It's the studio.
like Warner Brothers.
This episode has been brought to you by every shitty studio out there.
Thanks for giving us shit to keep talking about. At least,
Anyways, yeah. So
yes.
direct sequel.
Direct sequel,
So the
yeah.
3 were made. I
Yeah.
love the third one.
I've only seen the first one.
Okay, all right. The second one is Linda.
Is it a sequel to the first one?
They're all okay. So Linda Blair's in 2.
Oh, she is. Okay,
She's in
okay.
2. And it's her older. It's just preteen satanic possession as
Yeah.
opposed to
Yeah.
fuck me, Father Karras. Fuck me.
I'm sorry,
Fuck
but
me.
I always laugh at that because I think of James Woods in Scary Movie 2 where he's like, yeah, and he gets on her and he starts having a carrot too. And he's like, let me finish anyway. Sorry.
Oh,
It just kills
man,
me.
those movies pushed a line.
Oh, it was great.
It would be so wrong today. Great for the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 1 and 2 tie together.
Yeah.
3 has nothing to do with 2.
Right.
It has everything to do with 1, but new characters.
Got you. And you said they bring the priest back.
New characters, same old Satan.
Oh, I love
right?
it, right?
So,
Yeah.
the plot of the third one is the priest who says, "Take me,
Yeah.
take me,"
Yeah.
and then goes out the window and dies.
Yeah.
He survives
What?
and is possessed
Wow.
by the devil, but because
So
when
he did get taken then.
he got taken, but when he fell out the window, his body was so weak that it took years to bring his mind and his body back through regeneration.
Oh.
While this was happening, he was in a mental institution, and one day he just stopped being catatonic.
Wow, and just wakes up.
So he was found like a week later, wandering around possessed.
Right.
But there was nothing there.
Right, so they're like, you're going into the crazy house.
Go to the
'cause you're
crazy
just
house.
crazy.
And then he woke up, and it was the devil who
Right.
had possessed Regan.
Right.
And in this one,
That's kind of neat. That's kind of cool.
yeah, like
Kind of cool.
It
It's got like potential.
turns from a priest hunting it down to a cop. And it's the dude.
That's lame.
I brought my phone down for this.
That's
one.
lame.
Yeah, no,
It's a cop gonna
yeah,
shoot
but
it.
it's got like a good cast. Like it's
It probably does because they're trying to capitalize on The Exorcist, right?
Yeah.
Like that whole.
Exor.
So it sounds like then David Gordon Green's doing exactly what he did with Halloween. Is he's just pretending like nothing happened after the first one?
Kind of, yeah. And it's okay. So it's from 1990. So George C.
Oh wow,
George
C. Scott.
Yes.
Come on.
George C. Scott's the lead.
Wow.
Brad Dourif.
Okay. Yeah.
Brad
yeah,
Dourif plays the priest.
Yeah.
But Father Karras is himself. Brad
Okay.
Dourif plays the. I don't want to give it away because it's actually a really good idea of how they possessed him. He's possessed through another. The devil's possessing him through a third body.
Oh.
That's all I'll say. So there's like it's inception possession.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah, but Brad Dourif is the version that George C. Scott sees.
Gotcha.
So that's how they communicate.
Yeah.
Who else is in it? Jason Miller, who played Father Karras in the first one.
Yeah.
Scott Wilson, the old guy from Walking Dead.
Oh
loses his leg.
the fucking farmer. Yeah.
Nancy Fish, you've seen her and stuff. Like, it's from 1990, and it's basically everybody.
So it's not even that old, too.
It's not. It's 30 years old, man.
Because the first one is what? In the 70s,
70s,
right?
yeah, like 76, 74.
Yeah. Man, the first one has such good replay value still.
It will never not. You know why? It's because it's more about a story that's horrific than a horror movie.
Yeah. And also, like, you read about all the making of how
set was fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah,
well, and like the story that it is based on is actually based on a boy.
Yeah.
And the boy died.
Right. Yeah.
During the
Exorcist.
During the Exorcist.
Because even that became a case. I'm pretty sure, like within the Vatican or like.
You know what? Don't hold me to that. I thought Skeletor died in the first episode of He-Man. I'm not going to let myself live that down.
Skeletor's in the Exorcist.
That right there, ladies and gentlemen, listeners, is a lesson in speaking confidently with bullshit. Because you believed me.
I did.
Because I was confident.
If they kill He-Man, I'm like, they'll kill Skeletor.
And I immediately went, man, you should check that. Because you should not be that guy. So
in the back of your mind, Skeletor is going, ah.
Yeah. Mark Hamill as Skeletor.
See that? So, not to tangent again, I know we discussed this, but that's also why I'm angry and feel tricked. Is I would have loved 5-6 episodes with Mark Hamill doing Skeletor.
No, you do have it, I think. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, right.
Skeletor could...
But he doesn't say, He-Man, only for the first episode?
Man, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
right.
half of what I'll
still give it a watch. I'm still going to give it a watch. But anyways.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry. Going back to Exorcist.
Exorcist.
So David Gordon Green. Because I don't know if you've seen his Halloween.
I am not a big...
You're not
you need Jimmy here for that. Jimmy spins circles around all of us.
So I love Halloween 1. Like John Carpenter's original classic is one of my all-time favorites. John Connor. Was one of my all-time favorites. Like, I think that movie is incredible. And I love what David Gordon Green did. David Gordon Green did what it sounds like he's doing with Exorcist. He made... The only thing that confuses me is it's called Halloween, which I'm kind of like, so Halloween, and then the next sequel is called Halloween, which is kind of confusing. But he pretended like none of the other movies happened after Halloween 1, which is a good idea because the franchise turned into shit. So then his movie takes... Yeah, Halloween. His movie takes place 30 years or how many ever it actually is. And it's Jamie Lee Curtis dealing with the fact that she is devoting her life to wanting... She knows, like, Michael Myers is in an insane asylum. She's literally gearing up her whole life for when the day he escapes, because he's going to come for her, and she wants to be ready this time. So that's kind of the concept, and it's awesome.
So he took it over from movie 2?
He took it over from movie 1. Like, he pretends nothing came after movie 1.
So John Carpenter does the original Halloween.
So he did the original one, and actually David Gordon Green went to Carpenter and said, I'm only going to push for this movie if you're in on it. And Carpenter read the script and was like, how do we get this movie made? I'll finance it. He's like, I don't care. And it was Danny McBride and David Gordon Green in Carpenter's office being like, we wrote a script. We want you to check it out. And he's like, aren't you the guys from fucking, like, Pineapple Express? And they're like, yes, but check out our script. And he loved it.
That's because Danny McBride has a secret superpower of screenwriting.
He's a brilliant writer. He's very good.
There's something, I think, I never thought it would be him, but I think out of all of them, the two smartest and, well-rounded individuals are Danny McBride and Seth Rogen.
Yeah, without a doubt. I agree.
Like, everyone always pays attention to Jonah Hill and the rapist. What's his name?
Oh, Franco the rapist. Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
And because I was wrong earlier. No, I'm kidding.
No, he's a rapist.
He's a rapist.
Yeah, I know he is.
But yeah, like they always were front and center.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
I think Danny McBride and Seth Rogen career-wise,
Right.
have been like, I can do poetry, I can write a book,
Well, and you got
I
to look.
can punch shit up if
Yeah.
it's not funny.
Well, and you got to look, right? How many things are written by,
Yeah.
produced by?
Yeah.
That is a huge factor than just starring. I'm not trying to take away from that, but
Well, you have a role to play.
yeah, and like how many things do you see Jonah Hill written by, or do you see just cast?
Do you want to
And
make the people say the thing,
right?
and tell
Right.
them how to do it? You need to be the writer
And
the
also,
producer.
like Rogan writes Invincible. He writes, he doesn't just write stoner stuff. It's it's his thing, yeah. But like these guys are writers. They write what they want to write, and they write. So David Gordon Green, like what he's doing with Halloween, he came out with Halloween. It was awesome. The next one is Halloween Kills, and then it's ending the story with Laurie, who is Jamie Lee Curtis, with Halloween Dies, which is Halloween, which is a trilogy. So they specifically announced he's doing a trilogy with The Exorcist, and it's going right after, or not right after, but it's pretending none of The Exorcist other things happened, only the first movie.
Which is why Ellen Burstyn,
Yes.
and potentially I didn't see all of it, so I could be wrong. Man, I'm wrong. And I think Linda Blair might also.
Yeah, so they've only officially announced.
They've
but they're,
said that they're involved.
Yes, they're working on what's her face, Linda
Blair.
They're smart. They didn't want to make an official announcement because she's probably still like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then hearing that what's her face is now in, I'm sure that's going to make Linda Blair be like, well then,
Yeah.
if she's going to do it, like fine, or at least I'll hear you out, because I wouldn't be surprised if Linda Blair's like, no, like I don't like when Harrison Ford is approached for anything. That grunt, right? Like anything Indiana Jones. Right. So
No one does a better one
Or-
than Hamill.
oh man, and did you see when he showed Harrison Ford? Harrison Ford got mad because it was so good.
I love Harrison Ford's
Listen,
reaction
kid.
when Harrison Ford reacts to David Blaine's Street Magic.
Oh my
He's
god!
like, get the fuck out of my house.
Get the fuck out of my house! Because when he's like, cut that melon open, and the cards in the melon, and he just grabs it, and he's like, yeah,
The
get
most
the fuck out of my house.
genuine
Because
old
he's
man
serious.
response.
He's like, I don't like you, demon. Like you can see it in his eyes. He's like, get out of here, demon.
I put you inside the Ark of the Covenant. How did you get out?
How did you get out?
Fucking snakes.
But yeah, no, like
Anyways,
it's
yeah.
but yeah, no, I think like so obviously I think that's why David Gordon Green got the gig is what he's doing with Halloween is fucking
yeah,
wicked.
so that's his resume.
Totally. And I think he pitched an idea to them, and obviously
Well,
he
we
pitched
are-
it where he's like, I need the OGs, because if because that's what he said with Halloween. He's like, if Carpenter says no and Jamie Lee Curtis says no, my script doesn't work, because it's about bringing them back.
I wonder, like, is it William Peter Blatty, I think, is the guy who wrote the book.
Yes.
Does he need to give praise and be like,
I'm pretty sure. I think he.
or whoever owns the rights, right? Or is
Oh
it,
yeah, no, the studio.
or how long is,
So I think NBC,
Well,
like I
it's
think
Peacock,
they
yeah.
Peacock,
that's where our fears lie.
they own the rights to it in any kind of visual medium. So if it's a TV show, because they did a TV show a couple years ago called The Exorcist.
They did. There's 2 seasons of it on Netflix.
And I
Check
heard
it out
it's
right
not
now,
bad.
listener.
I heard it's not bad. I heard it's actually pretty good, but I'm pretty sure that was NBC, or it might have been like Fox, and then Peacock bought it before Fox even got sold to Disney.
So fucking
Dude, it's insane.
incestuous.
Oh, dude, the market now is fucked.
I don't.
And I heard Hulu is not Hulu. Roku is making original content.
They
now,
all
and I'm
have
like,
they all have their own version of an STD.
dude, it's insane.
They're all fucking each other somehow. They're all
yeah.
stealing each other's rights.
And it's nuts that they all have they can just be like, hey, let's get money and make stuff.
To trail Ellen Burstyn starring in this new Exorcist series, which they better get on it quick because she's a lovely elderly lady who
She's awesome, but yeah, she's old.
I don't want to have a Carrie Fisher thing happen.
So I wonder if what they're bringing in.
Well, I can tell you, it's Leslie Odom Jr.
Oh,
That's the lead.
that is the lead, hey?
That'll be fun.
So it's possession in the family then.
It's a new family here.
Here we go again.
Hang on here. I check me in the comment. Check me online. Check it out, listener. I have got, from what I read earlier, it is a new family.
Okay.
Here's what's great about it. It's a new family suffering a problem that's public record.
Ah.
So dad goes to Ellen Burstyn and goes,
Right.
what did you do when things were rotten in Denver?
And then she's like,
And she's like, let me tell you a story.
yeah.
Let me
You need to find James Woods now. No, I'm just kidding.
First of all, tie the bed down.
Yeah.
Second of all,
yeah.
remove
Yeah.
all crosses from the room.
Yeah.
Third,
don't
any-
even put bed sheets.
Yeah.
You don't need bed sheets.
Rubber padding.
There's no point.
Yeah.
No,
And,
that's kind of cool. So she again, and they're smart. Like they're bringing her in, and we don't even know what their role's going to be. It could be a scene. They could be leads. We don't know.
To go with our theme, I don't need a lot. I just need enough to know that this is where we're. I need enough to know that this is where I want to dovetail. Just dovetail that shit so that I'm not broken by the story.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
That this is jarring.
Yes.
Being this.
Yeah.
And then when you go and remake it, none of the secret that made it so. The reason why you had us, you were like, they won't notice.
Yeah.
They won't see. It's like, no, we notice because it's nothing like it's fucking it's Pepsi Clear, but it doesn't taste like Pepsi.
Yeah, right.
That's the point.
And I think and David Gordon Green, from what he did with Halloween, he the essence of Halloween, he got it's the original actor playing Michael Myers. So he's 74.
Jesus.
So he went and got the original, and that's what's awesome about it. And he's a huge dude. That original actor, he's almost 7 feet. He's a big man. So
that's a big shit.
And they got they went for, the deaths in it are practical effects, as they would have been when Carpenter did it. Not all of it, but there's 3 really awesome kills in it that are total homage to Carpenter. They look so real with the prosthetics that you're I swear he just bashed someone's head in. You know what I mean? And not a lot of horror movies, again, especially when it's things I guess I don't know, they don't even really make slashers anymore. It's all about possession and demons and shit.
You can still find them. You just got to dig. You got to go to Tubi.
Yeah, for sure. But David Gordon Green, he captures, there's one of my favorite shots in Halloween is, in the original one, is the camera's just following, it's doing a side shot, and Michael, goes into a house, murders people, you hear the chaos, and then he just comes out with, blood on him, kind of keeps going. David Gordon Green does that exact same moment in the scene in the movie, and it's when Marvel gives you fan service. It's fan service, but it's, so good, too, that if that was the first Halloween movie you were watching, you'd appreciate it, because you're this is an eerie scene, but if you know where that's coming from, you're awesome. So to see what he's going to do, he picked The Exorcist because he's clearly a fan. He picked Halloween because he's clearly a fan.
That's a big, hey, I'm, if you can do anything with your career right now, taking a thing that isn't current, popular, topical,
and that you grew up with years ago,
and that only makes a fucking resurgence every Halloween. All of the things that surround it. It's never dinner time conversation.
And also, it's the guy who's up until now done Pineapple Express, Eastbound and Down, these random, really great comedies. And then, just like every, kind of great writer and director, they love, us, all movies.
But you know what? Adam McKay and Will Ferrell did Succession.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said about giving guys who do comedy and slapstick and dick and fart jokes. Because they need to stretch themselves into other shit, which
they do.
The Exorcist, I have a feeling it'll pay, basically on what you're saying, because I don't know the Halloweens. I don't know his work, so I don't know how to compare it. But
dude, if you ever want to, we could watch the original Halloween and then what David Gordon Green has done, and I'm telling you, it'll get you pumped. Because when I read David Gordon Green, I was and then read that he's doing the same formula, I'm I fucking love Exorcist 1. Let's see what you're going to do. And again, he wouldn't even do his project if the original cast weren't coming back. Right? If Jamie Lee Curtis said no to Halloween, he's well, then I guess we're not doing it, because that's my script. My script is connecting it to the original one, and it has to work. So if they don't want to come back, it doesn't work, kind of thing.
Yeah.
What kills me is Peacock. That fucking kills me, because that means it won't even go to. But that means it won't even go to theaters, though. That's what kills me.
But it's going to be a movie.
Yeah, and it's going to be a trilogy. Yeah.
Which, I mean,
and they have money, obviously. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing this.
I don't think anybody who gets into streaming has money with the amount of it's subscription. I don't know how Netflix isn't fucking broke.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I've tried reading articles about how this works, and it's like Bitcoin. Okay. But I'm excited.
I am. Yeah. Good things are happening. Let's see here. Okay, you know what? We'll do this quick because I want to see it in the theater, and I know a lot, but we'll give me your quick 5 on.
Oh man, I'll
on
do it
Black
even
Widow.
quicker than
Okay,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to spoil anything for you.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what I will say.
And this is something that, like, normally in a non-pandemic environment, I'd be like, fuck it. If you haven't been to the theater by now, it's your fault.
Yeah,
we haven't been
for
to the
sure.
theater in a fucking year, so everybody wants to see it. So
and
that's
also,
why I
it's
don't
not
wanna...
playing. Like, or I think it is. I think it's playing in certain theaters here right now, or not all of them. I don't know.
It's playing everywhere.
It is. Okay.
Yeah,
So, okay. My first thing I will say too, don't feel like you have to see it in theaters. I love what she's done with the role. Like, the cast, performances, characters, wicked. The story, the villain, the stakes, very much phase 1. It very much is a phase 1 movie, which I'm not shitting on.
You and your phases.
But going where we are now,
okay,
it's kind of like...
All right, hang on. Point, counterpoint.
Yes.
When was it supposed to come out, and when did it come out?
Right. So that's another huge factor.
It's trapped.
Absolutely.
It's literally, they need to put the time stone on it and untrap it from time.
Totally. And that was a huge factor, because this was the thing. It's hard watching a movie about a character that you know is dead and dies, and they still have those scenes where it's like, she's against all odds.
No, she's not.
The world is on, and you're just like, but I don't feel that, because I know we're...
The odds fucked her.
Right. But it's just like, these odds are nowhere near as bad as sacrificing yourself for the fucking, what is it, Soul Stone. So I'm like, there's that thing.
Being tricked by Red Skull.
If it maybe came out between Avengers or Infinity War and Endgame, that could have been neat, because it's supposed to take place between those two.
Which is always a snub to her, because they were like,
Yes.
we'll let you be.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? That hurts. I can't wait to see it, because I love Rachel Weisz.
Oh, and they kill it. The cast kills it.
Florence Pugh is great.
Man, and
I loved her in Midsommar.
I'm so excited for her to kind of be like taking over the mantle of Black Widow. Like, that is another cool.
The Secret Wars.
Yeah.
A possible Red Hulk and a possible Florence.
That's true. Yes.
Whatever. Elena.
Yeah, Elena. Yeah, and again, like, if we have a new Cap, there's no reason we can't have a new Widow, right? Like, it's the taking on the mantle. It's not. It's like, Batman is not, it's the symbol, not necessarily it has to always be Bruce Wayne kind of thing. So it's kind of neat, but...
No. It always has to be Bruce Wayne. It can just be 37 fucking actors playing
Yeah,
them.
that's right. It could be 37 different people playing it, but yeah. But, like...
Don't make it
fucking
fucking confusing, Charles. Like,
or any more confusing than it needs to be.
When you say Batman, you literally have to say who's.
Who's, yes.
Like,
I know.
And
it's true.
Find me another thing.
It's like Bond. You have to say kind of who.
Okay, so Bond and Batman are the two most plagued characters played by multiple people.
Yes.
Anyways.
But okay, it's worth a watch. Totally watch it. Okay. It's just, it felt like an Iron Man 2, which they're not bad, but you're just like, oh yeah.
Filler.
I remember what it was like.
That makes me angry because
we have a lot to discuss. It made me, the other thing that grinded my gears is they do something really awesome with Taskmaster. I love Taskmaster, and I thought they did justice to Taskmaster. However, remember that phase 1 thing I mentioned about villains and this and that? Like, I'm not giving anything away.
That's fine, no.
But a waste of a fucking villain. Like, they could have made that villain an original character. Anybody else.
Oh, is this
and it would have worked.
Is this like Pedro Pascal's villain in Wonder Woman 84?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Just a phoned in.
I mean, there's more exciting than that, because he didn't really do anything other than be ridiculous.
Here's our villain. It's on the back of a cocktail.
Right.
You know?
But also, the whole movie is really because the after scene credit is really an Easter egg leading into a Disney Plus show. So it kind of felt like, because we mentioned the movie didn't get released when it was supposed to, it got released now, and it really felt like the whole movie was like, we released it because that Easter egg is really important. It's really important.
That Easter egg could have been redone in whatever they're doing, but now
because I'm almost convinced, and you'll know what I mean when you see it, that the after scene credit was filmed during the pandemic, during the delays. Like, it wasn't the original after scene credit with the original release, and then pandemic happened.
So
that's what I truly believe.
I believe you. But you can't recreate lightning in a bottle sometimes. And
I know.
however, whoever did it the first time,
Yeah.
when they brought them back, they may have rented different equipment.
Yeah.
They may have used a different camera. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
100 reasons why,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
no matter how talented those fucks are, you can
Yeah.
always tell when they filmed a thing
Yeah.
not in sequence.
Oh, yeah.
And
Also, it's just, you'll see, like, there's someone in it that I'm like, wow, there's no way they knew this before this show.
yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah, I totally fine. But it felt like, oh, that's why I watched the movie. Is because now I'm really excited for this fucking 30 seconds, but I gotta wait now.
But they know and that's okay. So back to the genius of Marvel.
Yeah.
like they knew that their thing
Yeah.
had to now be still part of a thing that moved past.
Yes.
And a lazy
And that's the way they did it.
anybody could have been like, maybe they'll forgive us.
No, and like and again, like Black Widow for me, I was like, it did its job. I was entertained. And again, there are wicked scenes with the cast together. Like the family parts are fucking awesome. And Rachel, that woman is ageless and gorgeous and such an amazing actress.
And
like
Daniel Craig's and not yours.
Oh my God. I told so funny enough, Claudia had no idea. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, what?
Like happily.
When? And I'm like
20
dude,
years.
They're awesome. But like, it's like, what I'm saying is the movie is worth a watch, but it also was like, we are spoiled with Loki and WandaVision and where it's going.
Well, and that's
we're really spoiled.
Again, it's not like it's not anyone's fault but China. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That was
I'm
great.
so kidding.
No, it's such a joke.
That's just
a good one. It's a good one.
That's the narrative from CNN.
Yeah.
So like
China.
China. Fox, I mean. Sorry, wrong. Whatever. Bad.
Yeah, sorry, Fox. Fucking Fox.
Anyways.
Yes.
But I like. How do you stop that from happening? Like
I know.
the machine is too big.
I know.
So eventually, what was made has to be tweaked, which they did, which is awesome. Which is like we know you can't slip up. You're in the end game now. We all know that, right? You're in phase 5.
It also the movie did feel like it was their way of being like, we fucked up and should have given you a movie way earlier.
Yeah. Between Endgame,
before Captain Marvel.
Do you know what?
Not to shit on Captain Marvel, but probably
yes,
before
way
her.
more, way more.
Yeah, right. Like really.
But then at that point, if you knew you were making Natasha's role so pivotal,
right,
in Endgame,
right,
making us love her,
right,
and giving us her family story and
Yeah.
all of the great things about her in between Infinity War and
Yeah,
Endgame,
yeah.
and then that being 5 years later where she's like she went away for a minute and then and then they call her back for some like
that's why like I told Claudia, I was like, the next time we do our little MCU thing, like it's like Lord of the Rings, Matrix, there's some point in the year where I'm like, I want to watch Infinity War and Endgame. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
I watched Endgame this week.
Oh, dude, it's just so good. So I was like, maybe the next time I'll watch Infinity War, Black Widow, and then go Endgame and see if it makes me appreciate Black Widow a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like just seeing because Black Widow ends on a very like they're taking the dagger with her death and stabbing it in. Like it's like we're gonna be family forever. High five.
Black
right?
Widow. Let's end where we started. Black Widow feels like a variant.
Yeah, that's a very nice, beautiful way to bring it back. Yeah, it does.
It branched off the timeline.
Yes, it does. And then found a way to like, it's back on track. Yeah. That's a really great way to say it. I think that's brilliant.
In another universe.
But yeah, a thing that hurt me the most, and again, I would love to talk more about it, but Taskmaster really pissed me off.
I've heard mixed reviews. I know who it's not. I don't know who it is, and I'm fine with reading shit and getting spoiled. Clearly, I ruined He-Man for everybody, but like whatever. If 5 episodes are out, what is it? July? When did it come out? On Friday?
What? And then
Yeah,
the new
you
ones
got you missed the boat. Fuck. Embargo off.
And Black Widow. Yeah, what's cool is the way they did do justice to Taskmaster in the sense of Taskmaster's whole thing is he copies his enemy or the hero to the punch. so that it's like punching him. It's like fighting a mirror. So it's like, how the fuck, like he studies you inside out and then finds your weakness and beats you with it. But then it's also like fighting a mirror. So what's cool is the fight scenes with Black Widows, her go-tos, Taskmaster's already doing them. So there's really cool fight. Like that's really awesome.
I love how they gave her like signature. Like nobody really got a signature.
Yeah,
move,
but she does.
But she has like
she
four
does,
cool
yeah.
signature takedowns.
And it's crazy when Taskmaster's like beating her to them because you react the same way she does at the same time. You're like, what?
So both go up for the leg lock,
right? But then Task gets it, and you're like, what? Yeah, and then at one point,
so is that like the Mjolnir Cap scene where like they freeze on it, and you're just like, whoa,
a little bit, yeah. Like they have some really like, and don't get me wrong, the action sequences in it are fucking wild. They're great. That's why I'm almost like I didn't see it in theaters, like I saw it at home. So maybe I would have again been a little bit more entertained if I saw the big spectacle and had that like everything, but. Yeah, like those things are cool. In Taskmaster, for instance, they do a lot of nods to Cap. He has a shield that he throws, and he uses it like how Cap did. It's not his shield or anything. Like, it gets stuck in walls. It doesn't bounce and shit. But he, at one point, is doing Cap's... You know, Cap has his, like, combo that even Iron Man... He does that at one point. And it's cool, because that's Taskmaster's thing. So they get it right with that sense, and there is a little bit of a twist with the character that I didn't see coming, and I was like... Yeah, I loved it. But then it ended like how Mickey Rourke's character ends in Iron Man 2, where it's like not necessarily dead, but it's like you're not Shockwave, I think.
No, that's Transformers.
Oh yeah, it is.
I
don't know.
Shocking.
Russian electricity.
Russian 240 volt.
But like he like it's in a way where it's like, well, why did you waste that on Taskmaster? Like, Taskmaster is a reoccurring villain in the MCU. Like, he fucks with everyone in the MCU.
Stop. I feel we're training.
Sorry.
And you know
but
what?
anyways.
Wrap it up, fuzzball.
But sorry, that went way too long. I said it would be less than 5 minutes.
I was enamored by your tale.
But anyways, worth a watch.
Yep.
Wasn't, like, blown away. Like, let's just say I'm more into the Disney Plus shows so far than the movies so far.
Okay.
So far. Because I know there's a lot more movies coming out this year.
Yeah, you're just being fed a different baby food. You're getting asparagus today. You want to get back to fucking applesauce.
I didn't want... Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm an only child. I get it.
I like that. That was a good way to put it.
Sometimes I say smart things. Other times I say complete and utter bullshit about Skeletor.
He's R.I.P.
We got to end this. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going to a downward spiral. I try not to be wrong. Guys, just leave me alone. Say it's okay.
No, but you're nice. You're trying to take the heat off of Kevin Smith. Now everyone's going to shit on you and be like, this asshole thinks he's dead? What a fucking idiot.
Fucking Kevin Smith shield. My Twitter handle is Kevin Smith if you found me on wish.com.
I don't have Twitter, but I'm going to join it tonight. It's going to be Skeletor RIP, and it's just going to be a memorial to Skeletor.
You fucking troll.
He-Man.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another special features of great, right, wrong, and utter bullshit, as always.
Yes. Make sure to fact check.
Yeah,
kids.
fact check it, man. We could be way fucking wrong more than we. I only fact checked us once.
Yeah.
That doesn't,
That's how we roll, man. It's also a test for you guys. We want to make sure you're listening.
Yeah.
Because if we're saying absolute nonsense, you got to call us out on it.
That would be fair.
Right.
In a nice, polite way.
Yeah.
I don't mind being called out when I'm wrong. I mind being called names.
Remember, don't shit on the studio. Podcast. You shit on podcast.
Don't call me bald and we're fine.
There you go.
Right? Like
there you go.
these are things I can live by. Insult my movie taste, but don't insult my receding hairline. If you're new, if you've tripped over us and you're like, I should listen to more stuff, there's a bunch of other episodes, debates, interviews with some professionals in the Canadian film industry, some more bullshit from us. If this is your 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 100th in whatever time, realdebaters.ca has been modified a little bit. I've been saying that it shed the COVID-19, the pounds that everybody gained.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand up for a second and do this because
stretch it out, man.
Yeah, my balls and my ass.
Yeah. They're connected.
Yeah, they have been for the last 2 hours. Like pressing, this chair was for back support.
They're all bush now.
Ass support.
So bush.
I'm gonna stop talking. Maybe they're still listening. I'm going to tell you, the realdebaters.ca has lost all of its weight. It's very skinny. It's just the easiest place to subscribe to the show. We'll have other stuff coming. We're told that where we're hosting, we'll get some shit up. If not, we're just going to buy a website and make our own fucking shit.
Yep.
Send us an email at therealdebaters@gmail.com if you want to hear stuff or see us do stuff. And then follow us at The Real Debaters on Twitter, Instagram, The Real Debaters Podcast on Facebook. Two easiest ways to support this madness is one, you can throw couch cushion change at us. That's where I rank us.
Love it.
On what money you should find. If you found couch cushion money, The Real Debaters is the place to donate it. $1, $2, $5. Donations get shit.
Yeah. And
we want to give the shit that those donations get. Because it's fun, we get to shout out at people and stuff. So if you throw some bucks at us, there's a tier there. There's a 1, a 3, and a 5. 5 is the max. Anything more than 5, I'll send it back to you because you're ridiculous. So that's one way to support. The other way is to go to the prop shop. Check the link in the info notes as well, where the donate tab will be as well, which is where we sell all of our wares.
And you should totally check out the merch. We're excited for summer. We got our summer colors.
Yeah.
We got our skateboards.
Yeah.
You guys gonna buy a skateboard for the love of
nobody's
God.
bought. Whoever buys one, honestly, like, there will be way more shit than that skateboard is worth done for you.
You could be on the episode if you want. You can pitch us an idea, a topic, whatever.
I honestly, the first person who buys this, just because this has been like a year of skateboard pitching.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm fine that nobody's bought it because this isn't our day job. But
right.
Now it's just funny.
You know what?
Buy one.
Whoever buys the first skateboard, I'll pitch in. You can get a walk-in spot on a taping of the Nerdgasm.
There you go.
You can just walk in on the background. I'll throw you in there. Whoever you are, if you want to be a guest on the episode, we'll find a topic. There you go.
Anybody can buy a skateboard, but if we want to do something fun for you, you got to be from Winnipeg, obviously,
or fly in. Hey, I can't pay for shit, but if you want to pay for it, go for it,
dude. I'm sure somebody might. If you have problems, don't come.
We're from Atlanta. Where are they coming? Where do we have
Concord, North Carolina? Yeah, shout out to Concord, North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah. Concord.
I don't know where the fuck you guys found us.
Man, but hey,
thank you.
Fly in.
Awesome. Downloads, fly in from Concord. We can compare COVID nightmares. You can do a walk-on the Nerdgasm.
That's great.
You'll spend all the money yourself.
Yeah, it's all on you.
We have no way to recoup you for
but it's worth it. I can tell you that it is worth your own money.
And then one of us will make the movie about the other one who was murdered by said person.
That's right.
Who came all the way from Concord.
The movie will just be called Concord.
Yeah. where creativity goes to die. Concord North. This is such a bullshit rant. Anyways, if you want to support the show, hit one of those 2 tabs or just subscribe. The more subscribers, this is the name of the game, kids.
Absolutely.
So we have no shame in wanting to make this bigger and better and have more opportunities and stuff. And the more people that subscribe afford us that. That's the free and easy way does a lot more than you think.
That's right.
So just hit the subscribe tab. And then when you're done, you go check out Charles' shit, which is
head over to youtube.com/cfbomb and you can check out all episodes of the Nerdgasm now streaming.
It's fun and easy and digestible nerd culture content. And it's made for everybody and anybody, but specifically nerds who like to orgasm over shields and PlayStation controllers.
That's right.
And cosplay and weed and all the great fucking things.
Oh my God, yeah.
Right? When you name what you'd put out there.
I'm going to write exactly all that you said.
Sure.
Get you to do the voiceover. That's the first commercial for it right there.
I do it for a friend's YouTube series.
Oh God, I love it.
I'm this week on.
Oh, that's amazing.
Last week on.
Oh, that's so good.
Will
Donna find her baby? Check in next week.
Exactly.
Oh, it's great.
But like this week on. Last week on.
It's great.
I can just drop the octave.
Oh, I love it, dude. That's great.
I can go from like, totally Captain America to Captain America.
Yeah. Can you do like, oh my God, just wait until you can do Spanish dubs. Barque.
And then they can follow you on Instagram, right?
That's right. Yeah. Sorry. So you can, youtube.com/cfbomb. That's the official YouTube channel for the Nerdgasm. You can also head on to Instagram and type in the.Nerdgasm show, and that'll get you some exclusive content from the Nerdgasm just on Instagram. And that's pretty much my only outlets. I'm not on Twitter.
That's fine. Don't want to be.
No, I don't. No, I got banned. I tried ordering a pizza, and I got on Twitter, and it pissed them all off. So no, I don't know. I'm just James Gunn got fired and it spooked me, and I was like, I haven't used Twitter in 7 months. What's on there? And I deleted it. So that's literally what happened. Yeah, literally. That's literally what happened. Like I had Twitter. And I always got anxiety going on it because it's like just people being like, blah! And just shit.
Yeah.
And it got really like hateful.
Yeah.
And then that whole thing with James Gunn happened. And then I was like, he got fired? So then I was like, man, I haven't used my Twitter in like 7 months. Why do I even have this? So I just deleted it. And that was like when that happened. So like, what, 4 years ago? I don't know. But yeah, I don't have any. But even when I was doing comedy and you were supposed to be like using it, I never did. Like one of my last tweets was something like, I can't even remember. It was stupid. Like it didn't make any sense. I never used it for what it was for. My things were always Instagram.
So
I always liked Instagram.
Nobody try to find the Nerdgasm on Twitter is what he's saying.
It never existed. Yeah, no. You'll never be able to find it.
Just avoid Twitter for the Nerdgasm.
Avoid Twitter, yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I went on that rabbit hole, but yeah. Anyways, Instagram, The Nerdgasm Show. YouTube, The Nerdgasm. I will come up. We're actually going to be celebrating our 50th issue coming up.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I love that you call them
about
issues because you know it's a comic.
Yeah, that's
right?
why.
I love it. The issue, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so,
that's,
so
from a guy who likes to use now playing and coming soon.
Thank you for appreciating that.
Yeah, no.
Because I had somebody ask me about that, and I'm like, well, it's a play on comic books.
Yeah. If you knew comics, you'd understand what I'm getting at.
Yeah. That's,
I try to make movie posters.
Yeah, so there
Coming
you go.
Soon.
Yeah, now playing.
In theaters.
Yeah.
Action.
I know there's something that kills me about now streaming or streaming soon. I'm just like,
I like now playing.
Yeah, now playing is great. It's
and
the OG.
Coming soon is the end of this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I have been Michael Petro.
And I am Charles Fernandez.
Watch all the movies, kids, and we're going to go do the intro now. So well, bye.
Thanks again, everybody.
See you around. Don't hate the director, hate the studio.
That's right. Oh my God, we gotta patent that.
All right.